Chapter 326, Kill Anyun. Hunshan Path senior disciple Anyun was strong and he seemed like a very polite and well-read person. However, he was really arrogant, and with just a raise of his hands, true chi surged out. The terrifying boundless realm true chi turned into a red glow. Fire! Endless fire! This fire immediately drowned numerous of miles around. A giant hole was burning in the ground and everything that touched it would be burned. At that instant, endless flames were burning. It directly covered northern region Lord and Chubai. The hot air spread everywhere, causing the land a mile around to collapse. Even the hard stone was melted. Grotto Heaven Realm people definitely couldn't handle this heat and would be burned to ashes. But northern region Lord and Chubai only became more serious. This is my legendary 3 strikes first strike, rumbling blaze. Hunshan Path's senior disciple Anyun hollered in rage. His attacks surged towards them. Northern region Lord said, stare at the others from Hunshan Path but leave this senior disciple to me. Chubai nodded, don't worry, none of them will be able to escape. Northern region Lord Gongyu calmed down and stepped forwards. Flames gathered around him. He was swiftly absorbing Hunshan Path senior disciple Anyun's flames, forming a giant bottle. Great Dao treasure bottle. This bottle was red in color and numerous flames were burning on it. Suppress! Northern region Lord's aura surged. He was going all out. During this period of time, he had been cultivating well in the bank of the universe. He comprehended more Great Dao treasure bottles and these flames were all absorbed by it. Anyun's expression changed. Who knew that his first strike was so easily solved by the Northern Region Lord? He underestimated Northern Region Lord's strength. He also overestimated his skill's strength. Die! Anyun hollered in rage. He had to kill Northern Region Lord now. Since he told them that he would kill them in 3 strikes, then he had to do so. You can block my first strike but you definitely can't block my second strike. Anyun dashed over. True chi in his body exploded and turned into numerous wind blades. Explosion! An explosive power appeared in Anyun's body which turned into a rumbling storm. In an instant, the ground for miles around was broken apart. Several thousand footholes were also sliced open by the wind blades. Moreover, in front of Anyun and Northern Region Lord, numerous holes were ripped open in space. A black hole spread, intensifying the strength of the attack. A storm appeared all around. It was as if this area was an ocean of wind. Those wind blades mercilessly sliced towards Northern Region Lord. All of this occurred in an instant. It was strong and scary. Northern Region Lord had to frown. He felt a little afraid because of Anyun's strength. Anyun really deserved his place as the senior disciple of Hunshan Path. He was terrifyingly strong. But Northern Region Lord was not afraid of him. He admitted that Anyun was strong and respected him, but he still had to kill him. Great Dao treasure bottle. The Great Dao treasure bottle that Northern Region Lord formed with numerous flames came into use. He headed forwards without hesitation, allowing the wind blades to slice his body. His clothes were in tatters and his body took many slices. But fortunately, he was one with the Great Dao treasure bottle. The wind blade sliced his body like it sliced the Great Dao treasure bottle, giving out a giant tremor and the metal reverberated. Hong! Bracing the wind blade, Northern Region Lord walked forwards, swinging his hands ahead. The Great Dao treasure bottle in his hands split open, and the numerous flames he gathered all charged towards Anyun. This was the battle between wind and fire. Anyun's expression changed. He knew that he couldn't let the flames burn him, otherwise, it would be embarrassing. To be defeated by his own flames. Anyun felt that would be too shameful to accept. Explosion! In a certain part of Heaven Mountain range, Northern Region Lord pushed his Great Dao treasure bottle forwards. The rumbling flames shot forth. Opposite him, Anyun's body gave off a green light. They clashed with those flames. Were the flames using the strength of the wind or was the wind blowing the flames out? Explosion. Those two forces clashed with one another. The surrounding area was in a mess and being burned by flames. The wind blade sliced all around and the ground couldn't take it at all. The others looked on from the distance and didn't dare to get close. The two of them were so terrifying and they were at the climax. Northern Region Lord's expression was solemn and he didn't say a word. He used his great Dao treasure bottle. This cultivation technique was designed for him and it was a perfect fit. He was pumped up right now. But Anyun couldn't block it. His wind was being suppressed. How was this possible? Was he going to lose to his own flames? Anyun couldn't accept such a blow. He stared and shouted loudly, "Imperial True Water!" Anyun stopped using the wind and he chose his final strike. Imperial True Water! Imperial True Water, Celestial World's Spirit Water! One drop of it could melt anything. The moment it touched a human's body, it would instantly dissolve one's flesh. Anyun was fortunate to enter the ruins and obtain it. This was his strongest attack. Explosion! The true water turned pitch black. After Anyun used it, it turned into a river current. This was also due to his lack of understanding of true water, which was why he chose an attack that covered a large range. He felt that no one at Boundless Realm could block it, so he extended the range so as to not give the Northern Region Lord a chance. The Imperial True Water exploded like a river. The black water swept and could corrode all living things. In an instant, the flames were being eaten by the water. It wasn't being extinguished but eaten. Then, the water charged at Northern Region Lord. "You have used your move, now it is my turn." Northern Region Lord hollered loudly. Numerous Dao patterns appeared beneath his feet and wrapped him up into a 5-colored bottle. 13 types of Dao bottle. Northern Region Lord merged the 13 Daos that he comprehended to build this bottle to wrap himself up. The true water wasn't corrosive enough. Anyun was too arrogant and didn't use the true water to its full potential. At that moment, the black water wasn't able to corrode Northern Region Lord's Dao. One couldn't say that it couldn't corrode, but it wasn't as fast as the rate at which Northern Region Lords recovered. This was why it seemed useless. Dong! Northern Region Lord's bottle smashed forth and suppressed Anyun. No! Anyun hollered in rage and disbelief. Why was his Imperial True Water useless? Die! Northern Region Lord laughed coldly. The bottle pressed forwards right away. Hong! Anyun's body exploded and turned into a bloody rain that scattered across the floor. Northern Region Lord also used the Great Dao treasure bottle to absorb that drop of Imperial True Water so he could cultivate with it. Chapter 327, Young Master Baiken Attacks. After Northern Region Lord killed Anyun, he took in a deep breath and said, "Fortunately, he didn't fully merge with the Imperial True Water, otherwise, I would have been injured." The Imperial True Water's corrosiveness was strong, but because Anyun's misjudged the situation, he diluted the drop into a river. He was just asking to die. Did he think that Northern Region Lord's Great Dao treasure bottle was weak? Northern Region Lord looked at the other Hunshan Path disciples with a fierce gaze. "You should go and spend time with your senior brother." Hunshan Path's disciples looked at one another, especially some who were Boundless Realm and furious. "You killed senior brother, so you are going to pay for it." They hollered in rage and didn't escape. Instead, they charged forwards and felt that Northern Region Lord was definitely really weak now. After fighting with their senior brother, although he won their senior brother, he was definitely badly injured. But Northern Region Lord's Great Dao treasure bottle's strongest skill was recovery. His ability to continue a fight wasn't a problem. "Let me do it." But Chu Bai was not planning to let Northern Region Lord attack. She stepped forwards in front of Northern Region Lord and said calmly. Northern Region Lord smiled, "Be careful." Chu Bai nodded, "I have always been amazing. I just didn't get a chance to show it." Chu Bai might not have been as strong as Northern Region Lord, but she wasn't weak. During this period of time she had been cultivating in 10,000 country book depository to improve herself. Now, she had accumulated a lot of knowledge and strength. Hong! Her body sped through the forest swiftly to deal with these Hunshan Path disciples. Northern Region Lord silently helped out. Heaven Mountain range was in all-out brawl as numerous people were fighting with one another. But those faction disciples were the only ones who died, especially Moon Angel Yuzuna. With full moon in hand and along with her cultivation during this period of time, she entered Boundless Realm. Her merger with Moon Angel's primordial divinity also sped up, so her strength was unbelievable. At the moment, Moon Angel was more than half merged with the divinity. This meant that the increase in her strength gained the recognition of the divinity. With full moon in hand, Moon Angel was different from the others. She didn't defend one area but headed around to kill the enemies. After killing, she sped away. Moon Angel was not greedy and she didn't want to be a hero. She hid in the shadows and underneath the moonlight. She was much more dangerous than everyone else. The others just waited silently for others to find them before killing, but Moon Angel was different, she chose to strike. Whenever she met outside people in Heaven Mountain range, she would kill them instantly. Before they even got close to Moon Angel's territory, she killed them. With the celestial artifact in hand, along with Moon Angel's deep cultivation, who could stop her? When Northern Region Lord only killed over a dozen people, Moon Angel had already killed 1,000. Moreover, this number was also climbing constantly. Even people at Boundless Realm couldn't escape her blade. Young Master Bei Chen saw such scenes. From a few miles away, he saw a moonlight blade flash across and numerous heads scattering on the ground. Fresh blood flowed on the ground and a girl holding a moon-like celestial artifact headed into the distance. Young Master Bei Chen's eyes flashed fiercely. You killed so many of our people and still want to escape. Hong! Young Master Bei Chen attacked. He couldn't sit still anymore. He gathered all these factions to test the strength of Heaven Mountain. So many of them were killed right at the start and their morale dropped. He had to step up to kill this girl to regain morale. This was why he hollered in rage. His body shot forth. He pointed his finger forwards and a terrifying light shot towards the mountain range. Explosion! The aura was scary like an apocalypse. It forced Moon Angel back. Her body spun to avoid the attack and she looked around solemnly. The pillars around instantly cracked and the trees were all turned to dust. A dozen-mile-wide giant abyss appeared. A black hole that one couldn't even see the bottom of blocked Moon Angel's path. Young Master Bei Chen landed slowly and stared coldly at Moon Angel. His expression was ice cold and he didn't pity her because of her looks at all. He wouldn't give up on his desires because of a woman's beauty. You killed too many people. Now, it is time for me to kill you. Young Master Bei Chen said coldly. The aura around him was like lightning that exploded. Moon Angel was wearing a pure white veil and she had soft armor on her. It covered her crucial areas. She held a silver moon in her hands. You can't kill me. Whether or not I can, I will know when I try. A sharp light flashed in his eyes. He stepped forth and punched. Explosion! A dozen giant stars appeared behind his body when he punched. Great Star Fist! This was a fist technique from the celestial world. When young Master Bei Chen was a celestial, he also used this. This fist was really strong, covering Moon Angel and causing her expression to change. Young Master Bei Chen's aura was too strong. He was at peak Boundless Realm and could even kill someone at the next realm. He personally attacked Moon Angel so as to give others the confidence of heading forwards. This was why he didn't allow Moon Angel to continue killing people. Moon Angel knew that young Master Bei Chen was strong, which was why she held nothing back. She instantly activated Full Moon's strength. Her body flashed and her jade-like muscles were constantly refined. True Qi flowed into Full Moon and then they entered her body. They started to swell up and increase. Clang! Moon Angel sliced forth and a cold glow exploded from Full Moon, accurately slicing young Master Bei Chen's strike apart. Explosion! The glow continued to spread and the shockwaves surged in all directions. Moon Angel couldn't help but take a step back. This step made her frown. She knew that if this continued, she would be no match for him. Leave. Moon Angel wanted to fly away. Young Master Bei Chen laughed coldly and didn't chase. Hong. Qin family's 10th strongest person Qin Ku is here to fight you. A large shout reverberated around. A bone-white sword light stabbed forth. This strike was like one bouncing off the moon to chase the stars. It was really scary. If Moon Angel didn't retreat, she would be injured. Moon Angel was shocked. When she heard Qin Ku, she knew that something was off. She retreated but was being forced right towards young Master Bei Chen. This time, you have nowhere to go, so you are definitely going to die. Young Master Bei Chen said confidently. Moon Angel suddenly laughed. You can call for help, so why can't I? Young Master Bei Chen frowned. He turned around and his pupils constricted. Chapter 328, I am Qin Yu. Young Master Bei Chen frowned and looked at the person behind him. It was a monk. A monk who was wearing white clothes. A really handsome monk with a bald head. He was calmly looking at young Master Bei Chen. When did this monk appear? He actually didn't sense anything at all. That was a little terrifying. Young Master Bei Chen focused on the monk and asked, Who are you? I am Heaven Heart. Heaven Heart replied. You are from the same side as this woman. Young Master Bei Chen knew the answer but still asked. If not, then we are on the same side. Heaven Heart interrupted his thoughts. Young Master Bei Chen's face was solemn and he asked, How did Heaven Mountain develop and raise all of you? We weren't raised by Heaven Mountain. Master raised us. Moon Angel said calmly. Master. Young Master Bei Chen's expression changed. This was a huge problem. When did a master appear in Heaven Mountain? The entire Heaven mountain range belongs to my master. Since you are eyeing it, then you deserve to die. Moon Angel said coldly. Who is your master? Young Master Bei Chen was shocked. Moon Angel was really strong. Even if young Master Bei Chen was a celestial soul, he had to admit that Moon Angel was strong. She reached such a cultivation at such a young age. She was really a top genius. As for Heaven Heart, he couldn't see through him at all. He was really old but his body gave off the scent of youth. This kind of youth wasn't fake but came from inside, from one's aura itself. He couldn't tell what was going on with Heaven Heart's cultivation at all. Young Master Bei Chen was in a tough spot. You can't find anything out about my master's name. Heaven Heart stepped forwards and said coldly. Usually, Heaven Heart was a kind person and would smile in the face of everything. He would even smile at his enemies. He treated Li Xiandao's matters very seriously and didn't allow anyone to insult Li Xiandao. Why even bother talking so much nonsense with them? Since they aren't willing, then you should just kill them. I don't believe that their so-called master can hide for the rest of his life. A voice was extremely cold. At the same time, a person landed on the ground and stared at Moon Angel and Heaven Heart. Qin family's 10th person, Qin Ku. Young Master Bei Chen nodded and said coldly, Qin Ku, you are right. Since the so-called master is not willing to come out, I am also not worthy of asking his name, so I will kill the two of you. I don't believe that your master won't come out. Qin Ku laughed out loud, that is right. These two mysterious people. Since they are not willing to speak, then we should kill them, and then we will kill their dogshit master. When Moon Angel heard this, a sharp glow flashed in her eyes. She stared at Qin Ku and her arms that were holding full moon trembled. You dare to insult my master? Today, I will definitely kill you. Moonlight shone at Moon Angel's eyes. She was like an ancient demon, beautiful and dangerous. Hong! Along with her taking one step, Moon Angel's terrifying aura exploded. A giant 12-winged angel appeared behind her back, She looked the same as Moon Angel and had a veil on her face. She held full moon and she was several times bigger than Moon Angel. Kang! Moon Angel opened up full moon. She held both sides and viciously sliced forwards. Where the sharp blade sliced, it forced Qin Ku back. His expression was really solemn. He didn't expect that just one of his sentences would cause Moon Angel to attack him so maniacally. How did this master brainwash them to make them so loyal? Qin Ku couldn't understand, but he didn't fear Moon Angel either. After all, he was one of the top 10 experts who the Qin family spent so many resources raising. Qin family's 10th person was much stronger than Qing family's 10th tiger. This 10th person could compare to the Qing family's top tiger. As such, one could tell that there was a difference in strength between emperor aristocratic families too. The Qing family was weaker than the Qin family, which was why their cultivation was trashed. Hong! Qin Ku pulled out his sword. It was a cold and shining treasure sword that gave out a bright light and smashed into full moon. Kaka! Full moon instantly shattered Qin Ku's treasured sword. This made his expression change. He didn't expect Moon Angel's weapon to be so strong, and for that treasure sword that he refined to not even be able to take a single hit. Die! Moon Angel continued to slash. Anyone who insulted Master had to die. Hong! Qin family's secret technique. Qin Ku used the Qin family's secret technique, a very strong cultivation method. Moon Angel's eyes flashed brightly. Qin family's secret technique. She knew its weakness. When she was young, she heard her parents say that the greatest weakness of the technique was in the hands. Using one's hands to hug the moon, there would be a few seconds when one's hands were really weak. If she took the chance, then she would be able to break the technique. Thinking about it, Moon Angel didn't hesitate. She changed her attack and sliced towards his hands. Kaka! A cold light flashed. His hands flew out, and then a short number of seconds later, fresh blood flowed out. All this happened in the blink of an eye. Young Master Bei Chen wanted to help, but before he could, Qin Ku's arms were sliced off. No! Impossible! How did you know this move's weakness? Qin Ku's eyes opened wide and he hollered in rage. He looked at Moon Angel in disbelief. Only the Qin family knew about the few milliseconds of weakness when one used the technique. How did Moon Angel know that? Qin Ku didn't care about his injuries. He stared at Moon Angel and wanted to know the reason. Moon Angel saw how stubborn he was. He had just lost his arms and half his cultivation. She walked forwards with her long legs till she was 3 meters away from Qin Ku. Full moon floated behind her like a crescent moon that wrapped Moon Angel up. Are you very curious about how I know this secret? Moon Angel stared at Qin Ku coldly. You are from Qin family, Qin Ku guessed it. He frowned and stared at Moon Angel. Although I don't want to admit it, I spent my youth in the Qin family. Moon Angel said. Along with her cultivation increasing, she knew that the Qin family was her stepping stone, and that if she didn't deal with them, she wouldn't be able to fully step out of her situation. Running away and avoiding it wasn't a good choice. Since you are from Qin family, then why have you taken an outsider as your master and helped him to do this to me? Qin Ku questioned. Because my name is Qin Yu. Moon Angel said coldly. His body shook and he stared at Moon Angel in disbelief. Qin Yu. There were many stories behind this name. Chapter 329, Buddha and Devil. Qin Yu was a martyr of the Qin family. She sacrificed her life for the family. When Qin Yu was young, she was compatible with the moon. She was like an elf on the moon and was given the name, the daughter of the moon. But in the end, because of this name, she lost her freedom. She was groomed as a martyr and she entered the demon cave when she was 18. This was the destiny of a martyr. Each martyr lived a tough life. The Qin family's males didn't want to change that and were in fact happy to see it happen. By sacrificing a girl they could have a peaceful few decades. Where else could they get such a good deal? This was why this practice continued to the present day and nothing had changed. Qin Ku looked at Moon Angel and reminisced about the past. He had played together with Moon Angel when he was young and Moon Angel was the first girl he liked. At that time, Qin Yu was like a moon elf, a doll carved out of jade. She was really cute and it was normal for guys to like her. Qin Ku stared at her, ignoring her injuries. She said anxiously, "Isn't it better for you to return to Qin family to be a little miss?" Moon Angel lowered coldly, "Little miss? If I return to the Qin family, I will only continue to end up as a martyr." Moon Angel burst into laughter. "No, the new martyr has already been chosen, so you are safe." Qin Ku persuaded Moon Angel. "Yet another girl has suffered unjust treatment. Don't any of you feel or regret or shame?" Moon Angel's expression turned cold and she questioned. Qin Ku didn't understand what there was to regret. A huge family, numerous guys, and 9 emperors came out. They even had people who flew up to the celestial world, but they continued to kneel in front of a demon. They sacrificed their own woman, allow the demon to trample on her, in exchange for safety. As a guy, do you have any shame? Moon Angel laughed coldly. She didn't like the Qin family because they were all soft. Qin Ku said with much difficulty, "This is fate." "Fate? Damn your fate!" Moon Angel suddenly raged. Her aura surged and she stared angrily at Qin Ku. Qin Ku was terrified and looked at Moon Angel with a stunned expression. An emperor aristocratic family that has survived for tens of thousands of decades, and when they face dangers, they sacrifice a girl and say that it is fate. Fate won't take the blame for any of you. Moon Angel was furious. She was chosen as the martyr, that was fate. She needed to sacrifice herself in exchange for the family's stable development. This was fate. She fled to heaven and earth battlefield and was chased by Qin family's executioners. They nearly killed her and this was fate. In the past, Moon Angel actually believed in fate. But now, she had been saved by Master and worked hard to cultivate and improve herself. When she faced problems, she would persist and solve them herself. After entering the bank of the universe, Moon Angel never said that this was fate. Fate is just an excuse that the weak use. Cowards. The Qin family members are cowards, 1 generation more than the last. Moon Angel scolded without holding anything back. Qin Ku opened his mouth but didn't say anything. He could only add, "You don't know how strong that demon is." "I don't need to know, but I know that one day I will kill that demon." Moon Angel said coldly. "But you won't live to see that day." Moon Angel spun full moon and sliced down. "You'll kill me." Qin Ku opened his eyes wide in disbelief. They had known each other from a young age, and after so many years of relationships, she was willing to kill him? Kaka. Qin Ku's body was sliced into 2 and he was killed instantly. Moon Angel said calmly, "I forgot to tell you that I was called Qin Yu, but now I am Moon Angel Yuzuna. So, I can kill you without any psychological barriers." Moon Angel turned around coldly and stared at young Master Bei Chen. Young Master Bei Chen looked towards Heavenheart and Moon Angel with a dark and sunken expression. He wanted to save Qin Ku but Heavenheart was staring at him. He was locked down and couldn't do anything, otherwise, Heavenheart would attack. Young Master Bei Chen was furious and even annoyed. He was a celestial. Even if he reincarnated, he still had a limitless future, far more than those of the same grade. However, but now, he was actually being suppressed by a monk. "Do you need help?" Moon Angel asked. Heavenheart shook his head and said, "Hand this person to me. I am Heavenheart and I will kill you now." Hong! Heavenheart stepped out. Several temples appeared behind him. There were thousands, tens of thousands of monks chanting scriptures. This was a really righteous thing, but young Master Bei Chen glanced and saw something underneath all of this. He was shocked. Cold air rose up from his legs to his head, making him stare at Heavenheart in disbelief. In the temple, the monks all seemed merciful as they chanted. Incense wrapped around them and the Buddha ancestor golden bodies were filled with a majestic aura. Looking at them, one couldn't help but bow and worship. But under this shining gold and righteous hall, it was hell. There were devils, girls being sluts, monks eating meat, people suffering pain. Under the hall, Buddha and demon merged as one. A devilish aura spread, filling those present with disbelief. "You aren't a proper monk!" Young Master Bei Chen scolded in shock. What had he seen? Buddha and demon in the same body? "How am I not proper?" Heaven Heart asked. "You actually comprehended the demon Dao." Young Master Bei Chen was shocked. He knew why he couldn't see through Heaven Heart and was actually really terrified of him. This monk actually merged both Buddha and demon. It was as if this was more terrifying than cultivating to become a celestial. There were many people who had flown up to the celestial world since ancient times. But there were too few who merged both Buddha and demon. One could even count it the number of times on a single hand. These people were all famous top experts. Celestials weren't able to take a single hit in front of these people. Although Heaven Heart didn't reach that stage, he was still really terrifying. Demon! Heaven Heart stepped forwards. The phenomenon behind him changed. Now, a terrifying scene of demons in hell appeared. The Buddhas were being suppressed. Everyone in the world changes and the rule is that one must change. Each person is finding their so-called truth. Some people find supreme strength, controlling power, and controlling the truth. Some are firm believers of their ideals, but these people with strength beat them up real bad. If the Buddha didn't have such strength, he wouldn't have been able to spread his ideals over the 9 skies and 10 lands. The demon you are talking about is one that controls power. Heaven Heart said coldly. You control power and you have evil thoughts, so you are a demon. However, you won't admit that you are a demon. But I am different. I admit that there are many sides to me. I can read scriptures in front of the Buddha, and I can help souls in hell. I can do what I want and send you to hell. Hell Sky stared at young Master Bei Chen coldly and was now 3 meters away from him. This world is not just black and white. Light and darkness can exist together like the Buddha and the demon, they can exist together at the same time. The phenomenons behind Heaven Heart appeared once more. Hell and heaven appeared at the same time. One side was pure like summer and ghosts were crying out loud on the other. Chapter 330, Legendary Song. Heaven Heart's terrifying aura threatened young Master Bei Chen. He used his celestial's knowledge to see that Heaven Heart's ideals were really deep and he had great potential. But he didn't want to admit it. The moment he did, he would admit that he was weaker than Heaven Heart, especially now that Heaven Heart wanted to kill him. You are so good at speaking. As expected from a monk, twisting words is your skill. Young Master Bei Chen scolded. His aura surged and he couldn't let Heaven Heart affect him. Hong! So, he attacked. You can say many things, but if I kill you then it's over. Young Master Bei Chen's fist broke the silence, turning everything into chaos. Numerous streaks of light shot forwards, lighting up the area. Star after star appeared behind him like it was the Milky Way. The light from the stars landed, making his punches extremely powerful. The stars transformed into a giant. It was enormous. It was as if the master of the stars was protecting him. A violent and scary aura pressed forwards. Great Star Fist. This strike was extremely terrifying. It was as if young Master Bei Chen was holding a star and smashing down with it. Explosion. The surrounding grass and trees shook. The moonlight was like sand that was covered by this star. Young Master Bei Chen didn't hesitate. He went all out and wanted to kill Heaven Heart. He didn't underestimate him at all and this strike was his killing blow. Young Master Bei Chen wasn't like a celestial who was high above. He had already placed Heaven Heart at a level similar to himself. Dong dong dong. When Heaven Heart saw this, his expression didn't change at all. He knew that young Master Bei Chen was strong, so at that moment, tremors spread out from his body. The essence of the plants around, the essence of moonlight, the dragon energy in the earth, and the veins in the mountains all surged into Heavenheart's body like water. In the next second, an extremely strong light exploded from within Heavenheart's body. His body turned translucent, 365 acupoints in his body shone bright, and turned into a golden whirlpool. Each acup ointment had a Buddha in it. They didn't have a face, but under the golden light, one could feel that they were righteous and majestic. They gave off an ancient Buddhist cultivator vibe. Explosion! Heavenheart didn't hesitate and attacked right away. He opened his palm and it enlarged quickly. A Buddha-like palm covered the sky and sliced forwards. Kaka! The star was sliced, directly smashing into young Master Bei Chen's great star fist. A giant aura exploded and spread in all directions. Hong! In an instant, 100 miles of land around were Indiana flames. Nothing remained. Corpses were scattered all over the ground and everything turned to dust. Even Moon Angel, who was flying in the sky, had a solemn expression when she looked at the battle. A Buddha golden body, 365 Buddha illusions, were on his back. It was a star giant with a patch of unlimited star resources. The two of them clashed and both took several steps back. But Heavenheart retreated 3 steps before stabilizing himself. Young Master Bei Chen took 5 steps back. He stomped down and the ground shook. Numerous cracks spread from beneath his feet. In an instant, a few hundred meters around cracked like a spider web. Young Master Bei Chen's expression turned green. He actually lost out. How was that possible? In the next second, Heavenheart raised his hand and said, "Your strike seems really strong, but that is it. Now, it is time for you to taste my strength." Young Master Bei Chen's expression changed and he stared at Heavenheart warily. Hong! Heavenheart's fist technique was really direct and open. He just punched without any added movement. Simplification of the Dao. At that moment, Heavenheart's body swelled to 60 feet. He shone a bright gold. This was the Buddhist faction's golden body. But within it, there were a bunch of demons from hell. In the 365 acupoints sat 365 demons. They bared their fangs and seemed abnormally terrifying, sending a chill down one's spine. From the outside, it seemed really pure, but inside, it was a demonic mess. This was Heavenheart's fist. Buddha and demon in one. Hong! This fist smashed down, causing the ground to shake. Aura spread out, locking onto young Master Bei Chen. His expression changed and he retreated swiftly. But he was locked on, so how could he escape? Heavenheart's 60-foot body stepped forwards. He punched forwards, so he had no choice but to take it head-on. "Since I can't dodge it, then let me experience your attack," young Master Bei Chen hollered. His eyes were like lightning and his hair was in a mess. He formed a seal with his hands and shot out a terrifying seal technique. Heaven Flipping Seal. Heaven and Earth Seal. Human King Seal. This was a celestial technique that contained the glows of heaven, earth, and man. Using heaven to suppress, earth to bury, and humanity to defend. At that moment, young Master Bei Chen sung an old song. It was the taste of legends. Young Master Bei Chen's celestial technique was strong, crossing the boundless realm barrier and coming to the next realm, legend. After Grotto Heaven was boundless realm, and after boundless realm was legend realm. Singing a legendary song, praising the legendary person, spreading the legendary stories. Even if one had just entered legend realm, it was still really terrifying. At that moment, young Master Bei Chen was really confident that he could kill Heavenheart. Heavenheart saw that young Master Bei Chen had crossed into legend realm. He was not worried at all. He had already pulled the bowstring and had to fire. Hong! This fist punched forwards. His aura swelled and the space cracked behind him. Hong! 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 Young Master Bei Chen pushed the celestial technique forwards and it smashed Heaven Heart's body. A terrifying power exploded and the aura was shocking. It caused Heaven Heart's body to light up and clang, it was as if a new world was being opened up. But Heaven Heart didn't care at all. He punched and with a crack, the 3 seals were broken. The celestial technique was amazing but it depended on who used it. How is that possible? I used a celestial technique and I even crossed into Legend Realm. Young Master Bei Chen panicked. He retreated but in the next second, Heaven Heart grabbed him. He pulled him to his side and stared at him coldly. Legendary song? You can listen to my body. Heaven Heart said coldly. Young Master Bei Chen didn't want to get close to Heaven Heart but he didn't have a choice. Heaven Heart grabbed his arm and pulled him. Dong! Young Master Bei Chen smacked into Heaven Heart's chest with a metallic sound. Young Master Bei Chen wanted to rage but he was stunned right away. From within Heaven Heart's body, in those 365 acupoints, legendary songs spread out. Each demon was at Legend Realm and they were all singing. Heaven Heart had stepped into Legend Realm long ago. His Buddha and demon entered Legend Realm while he suppressed himself and didn't break through. Now, in the battle against young Master Bei Chen, he broke through to suppress the celestial technique and crush young Master Bei Chen. Chapter 331, Massacring Celestial. You actually, young Master Bei Chen looked at Heaven Heart in shock and terror. He didn't expect that this would happen at all. Heaven Heart actually. He actually raised all 365 acupoints in his body to Legend Realm. Each acupointment had a Buddha and a demon. They merged with one another. All of them were at Legend Realm. 365 acupoints. 365 Buddhas. 365 demons. All of them were at Legend Realm. Only Heaven Heart had suppressed his own cultivation. Now, he suddenly broke through. The Buddha and demon in his body were singing legendary songs and this scared young Master Bei Chen. Was this monk perverted? You fool, aren't you afraid that your body will explode and that you might die? Young Master Bei Chen hollered in rage. His hands trembled from fear and he was filled with disbelief. Someone could actually cultivate over 700 streaks of Legend Realm energy and not break through? Lunatic. Young Master Bei Chen was a celestial in the past life and found this insane. Heaven Heart said calmly, "This alone makes you feel that I am a lunatic." What do you mean? Young Master Bei Chen looked at Heaven Heart in shock. There was something more crazy than this? You have not seen my master's power. My skills are not worth mentioning at all in front of him. I am not even worthy of carrying his shoes. Heaven Heart said sincerely. Legend Realm gathered the power of the 10 lands at Grotto Heaven Realm. How could his more than 700 Legend Realm people compare to him? Master's one Grotto Heaven world could suppress him. In fact, he might have even been 10 times or 100 times stronger than him. Your master. Young Master Bei Chen felt like his ideas of the world were going to collapse. It was so terrifying that he trembled. Heaven mountain range belongs to my master. You are all just asking to die by coming here. Heaven Mountain said coldly. He twisted his hand, wanting to snap young Master Bei Chen's neck off. No. Young Master Bei Chen hollered in rage. He had just broken through to Legend Realm. He was really strong and wasn't willing to just wait and die. He formed a seal with his hands and a cold glow appeared in between his eyebrows. It looked really strong and terrifying. Celestial Artifact, Soul Suppressing Stone. This was a celestial artifact that young Master Bei Chen had refined for a really long time. Now that it was used, it was extremely strong and very terrifying. He charged out and instantly unlocked 2 levels of celestial seals. 9 levels of celestial seals. One could only unlock 1 level at Boundless Realm, but after Legend Realm, one could unlock 2. The strength of the second level was much more terrifying than the first. Even Heaven Heart didn't dare to underestimate it. He put young Master Bei Chen down and his body shrunk as he avoided that lethal blow. But the celestial artifact's soul-suppressing stone didn't plan on letting Heaven Heart go. It pressed down and with a loud explosion, it pressed down onto him. I want to see whether or not you can block a celestial artifact's attacks. Young Master Bei Chen said coldly. This was a treasure that he had refined for tens of thousands of years. When he smashed it into somebody else's body, he would hurt his own soul. This was why it was called the soul-suppressing stone. Heaven Heart frowned and scolded coldly, "Do you think you are the only one with a celestial artifact?" Hong! A bunch of Buddhist pearls flew out from Heaven Heart's dantian. 10,000 Buddhas were carved on it and Heaven Heart instantly activated them. Hong! He activated 2 levels of the seal and the pearls exploded. A bright mountain with a dense Buddhist aura appeared in the air and blocked the soul-suppressing stone. The soul-suppressing stone gave off a black glow and just one look made one dizzy. But the pearls blocked it. They were just floating in the air. Young Master Bei Chen frowned and didn't know what to do. He couldn't beat Heaven Heart and his treasure was only on the same level. Also, Moon Angel was looking on from the side. He was forced into a corner. Young Master Bei Chen wasn't happy. He glanced around and asked, "Who is your master? I hope to see him once. I have some things to tell him concerning my background." Young Master Bei Chen was buying time. He hoped to see the Master of Heaven Mountain. To have so many geniuses loyal to him, who was this Heaven Mountain Master? Hong! Heaven Heart wasn't in the mood to talk to him. He said coldly, "My master knew long ago. You are just someone who came down from the celestial world but you can't even beat me. You don't have the right to see my master." Heaven Heart punched forward. His fist was as fast as a shooting star, instantly drawing close. Hong! The fist landed on young Master Bei Chen's face. Young Master Bei Chen couldn't react in time and stumbled backwards. He spat out a mouthful of blood and the shape of his face changed. "Stop!" Young Master Bei Chen hollered in rage. "Since you know that I am a celestial, then you should know that I have someone above. If you dare to kill me, then you will definitely receive my revenge." Young Master Bei Chen threatened. Kaka! But what he got in return was Heaven Heart's cold gaze as well as his powerful arm which twisted viciously. Young Master Bei Chen's neck was twisted just like that. He looked at Heaven Heart in disbelief and his body fell down like a soft mattress. Heaven Heart said calmly, "What a weak celestial." The soul-suppressing stone in the distance lost its master's support and was suppressed by the Buddha pearls. Heaven Heart retracted the pearls and picked the stone up. He said to Moon Angel, "You can continue killing people. I will hand this celestial artifact to Master." Moon Angel nodded. She didn't say a word and just left. Heaven Heart turned around and left too, leaving 2 corpses at the scene. Young Master Bei Chen reincarnated into the 9 skies with ambition and thought that he could overturn heaven. He wanted to hold the power of the 9 skies and then get the key to Celestial Gate. Open the Celestial Gate, gain the rewards, and step up. But reality taught him a lesson. He was at the border of Heaven Mountain. He didn't even see Xiandao and he was killed by Heaven Mountain. Before this, young Master Bei Chen mocked Ma Qing but Xiandao's sword energy did kill Ma Qing. He on the other hand was killed by Xiandao's subordinate, Heaven Heart. Did young Master Bei Chen regret coming to the 9 skies? The White Forest became really silent after Heaven Heart left. But the things around had mostly been destroyed. There wasn't a good atmosphere in 100 miles. Most people heard sounds and took a look before they panicked. The emperor aristocratic family's 10th strongest person was Qin Ku. The top aristocratic family genius was young Master Bei Chen. They both died here. One was sliced into 2 and the other had his neck broken. This? Who did this? Heaven Mountain actually has such a terrifying person. Many of them exchanged glances with one another and they felt afraid. Young Master Bei Chen and Qin Ku were top experts of the young generation. Now that they had been so easily killed, what did that mean? It meant that Heaven Mountain had many experts and they were really strong. All of a sudden, everyone faced Heaven Mountain and moved away from it. Many people had already died and everyone was scared. Young Master Bei Chen wanted to kill some people to raise the morale. He definitely didn't expect that he would be killed instead and that their morale would drop even more as a result. Chapter 332, Swallowing Celestial Artifact Energy. News of Qin Ku and young Master Bei Chen being killed spread out and caused a huge uproar. This led to there being far fewer people entering Heaven Mountain. The experts in the younger generation were killed. This terrified the others and they didn't dare to enter, especially Moon Angel, who was described as a beautiful killer. She killed everyone and caused a flurry of news which made many people start to worry. Li Xiandao in the Bank of the Universe had been paying attention to all of this. Seeing that Heaven Heart had killed a reincarnated celestial, Li Xiandao was very satisfied. The dragon tooth rice I gave all of you was worth it. Heaven Heart was able to amass so much strength largely because of Li Xiandao's support. Over these few months, the dragon tooth rice planting range expanded. There was more and more. The dragon tooth rice ancestor was in charge of planting and harvesting them. For these dragon tooth rice, Li Xiandao took 50%, human celestial took 40%, and the rest took 10%. After taking 40% away, Heaven Heart was able to cultivate really quickly. Now, he was even able to slay a reincarnated celestial. This was also the reason why after Heaven Heart acquired young Master Bei Chen's celestial artifact, he returned to the Bank of the Universe and handed it to him. Master, this is young Master Bei Chen's celestial artifact. It is to be used on the soul. Heaven Heart passed the celestial artifact to Li Xiandao. Li Xiandao reached out and observed it closely. The soul-suppressing stone was a black stone with many formations carved inside. Altogether they formed 9 levels of seals. Li Xiandao noticed that there was a large amount of soul power within. These were stored in the stone over many years. Apart from young Master Bei Chen, there were also those of the people who had been killed by it. Li Xiandao slapped the beautiful stone. Hong! The soul-suppressing stone caused the ground to shake. Wave after wave of energy spread out as it tried to break free from Li Xiandao's hand. The celestial artifact had a mind of its own. It knew that its master was dead and that the person who was holding it was not its master. But could Li Xiandao let it escape? Ding! With a flick, a terrifying power entered the soul-suppressing stone. A giant light exploded from within and suppressed the stone. The soul-suppressing stone laid in Li Xiandao. Within the Bank of the Universe, you can't disobey me. Li Xiandao said calmly. Li Xiandao didn't use his own strength. He didn't have enough strength to make a celestial artifact yield. Li Xiandao used the power of the Bank of the Universe. In the Bank of the Universe, even if the owner of the celestial world entered, he wouldn't be as strong as Li Xiandao. In the Bank of the Universe, Li Xiandao was the god. Master, I will take my leave. When Heaven Heart saw this, he said respectfully. Head down and rest well. You killed young Master Bei Chen, so the various factions won't have small fights anymore. They will amass a large-scale attack. Li Xiandao said. Heaven Heart nodded. He turned around and continued to solidify the power in his body to raise his strength. Li Xiandao looked at the soul-suppressing stone. Your body contains a large amount of soul energy. Just give it to me. I will help you find a master to help you demonstrate your worth. Li Xiandao said calmly. He placed the soul-suppressing stone on the table and then tapped the table. Soul-suppressing stone didn't move. It was like a stubborn stone telling Li Xiandao that even if he suppressed it, it wouldn't yield. Li Xiandao took off his mask and smiled. I can suppress you, so I can slice you open. I will take you apart such that you will never recover. Then, I will still be able to obtain the soul power that is within your body. The soul-suppressing stone shook. Li Xiandao was terrified and then slowly opened his own internal space. Explosion. A giant black ocean. Borderless. Raging waves. Water slapping the shore. Extremely shocking. The black ocean water was filled with soul power. This was just too terrifying. The soul power was so thick that it liquefied, forming a borderless ocean. This was a huge treasure. Young Master Bei Chen had killed many people over these tens of thousands of years. No one knew, but each time he killed, he would absorb their soul power and send it into the soul-suppressing stone. These 10,000 years of hard work had formed this black ocean. This was an unexpected surprise. He looked closely at the black ocean. Not only was it huge, but the quality was high too. Young Master Bei Chen spent 10,000 years in the celestial world. Most of the people he killed were celestials. Could the souls of celestials be weak? Even the weakest one of them shouldn't have had a weak soul source. Young Master Bei Chen wanted to use these to help him break into the next realm. But after heading down to the 9 skies, he was reluctant to use them. He felt that using these hard-earned things in the 9 skies would be a stupid thing to do. This was why it benefited Li Xiandao in the end. Li Xiandao took in a deep breath. Black energy entered his nose and then seeped into his consciousness to strengthen his powers. Great! As expected, it is high-quality soul power. All of this is enough to help me break through. Li Xiandao was really satisfied. It seemed like there was a large amount of soul energy, but he was someone who owned the 10 lands. The energy he needed to break through was far above that of others. This black ocean would be sufficient for 10,000 other people to break through into Legend Realm. This was an ocean. But for Li Xiandao, he felt like it was good if he could enter Legend Realm. He had just entered Legend Realm and understood it right away. With the help of Soul Suppressing Stone, Li Xiandao felt like he could cross it. Pass it all to me. Li Xiandao ordered. Soul Suppressing Stone didn't dare to refuse and it just opened itself to Li Xiandao. Explosion. Li Xiandao was like a cow consuming a peony, swallowing it whole. Like a pig eating ginseng, he gulped it down without even tasting it. He bathed in the soul source. Every pore and hair on his body was absorbing it. Explosion. Li Xiandao's cultivation started to increase by leaps and bounds. His soul energy improved the quickest and headed towards a higher realm. In the room, Li Xiandao crazily absorbed it to improve himself. Outside Heaven Mountain, the people from the different factions looked on while surrounding young Master Bei Chen and Qin Ku's corpses. We have suffered heavy losses. Qin family head raged. The Heaven Mountain people are too amazing. We won't be able to get in just relying on the young generation. Someone's face was dark and sunken. Don't worry about whether they are young or old. Just kill his Heaven Mountain. All of us will push in together. I don't believe that he has so many experts to block us. Qin family head said coldly. He looked around with a fierce gaze. Only when he looked at Qin Ku did guilt and anger appear in his eyes. Qin Ku, his illegitimate son, was dead too. Chapter 333, One Invitation Letter. Qin Ku was the Qin family head's illegitimate son. Apart from him and his mother, no one else knew about it. Qin Ku's father didn't know. Qin Ku didn't know. And, the Qin family elders didn't know either. The Qin family head even didn't contact Qin Ku's mother after Qin Ku was born. They wanted to keep this relationship a secret in order to give Qin Ku a home, a perfect home. This was why when Qin Ku was dead, the Qin family head could only feel sad because he was the family head. He couldn't show that he was as sad as a father. The Qin family head was about to go crazy. He had 2 kids in his life, Qin Kun and Qin Ku. Qin Kun had just been killed and now Qin Ku was dead too. He was so lonely, and even with his high cultivation, he wouldn't be able to have more kids. This meant that the Qin family head would have no more offspring. Of course, Qin family did have offspring, but for the Qin family head, he was filled with rage. He had nowhere to vent it and could only stare coldly at Heaven Mountain. The people who killed his 2 sons were in Heaven Mountain. When Qin family had received the news that Qingling and that damn mule were in Heaven Mountain, this meant that the people who killed Qin Kun were in Heaven Mountain. They might have even been the same person. Stop probing. My Bei family lost a young master with huge potential. We have to take revenge. When all of you suggested to let the younger generation lead, our Bei family agreed. Now that young master Bei Chen is dead, all you factions aren't doing anything. Are all of you just going to sit here and wait? Bei family's elder looked around in rage. Bei family didn't know that Bei Chen was a celestial who had reincarnated. But Bei Chen's talent was visible to everyone. This was someone who would definitely be an emperor-level expert in the future. Now that he died here, these factions had to give an answer. All of them were silent and they looked towards the Qin family head. He was the commander. Naturally, they had to listen to him. What does Bei family want us to do? Qin family head closed his eyes and asked. Charge up Heaven Mountain and take revenge for young master Bei Chen and also the thousands who died this time. Young master Bei Chen raged. Not only did young master Bei Chen die, but the others all went all out too. Apart from Moon Angel killing 1,000, the others killed 4,000 in total. The overall count was at 5,000. One could say that each family had suffered heavy losses. Those disciples were not new to the factions and they weren't outer disciples. They were the true core disciples. With the death of 5,000 core disciples, all the factions were filled with anger. They wanted to train these disciples, but who knew that Li Xiandao would release his terrifying subordinates? They had been killed so mercilessly that their blood flowed into a river, filling these factions with hate. I'm in favor of heading up Heaven Mountain. A faction elder said solemnly. I also agree. We can't let this matter pass just like this. Hunshan Path's elder said coldly. Their elder died too and they found it hard to accept it. Senior brother was someone who they spent a lot of effort nurturing. One could have said that he would be the future Hunshan Path sect leader. Now that he had been killed just like that, how could Hunshan Path take it? One or two said that and then everyone else said the same thing. All of a sudden, everyone was pumped up. The Qin family head opened his eyes and looked around. Is that what everyone thinks? All the factions nodded their heads. The Qin family head laughed coldly and said, since everyone says that, then go prepare. We will head up Heaven Mountain. Suddenly, someone walked in to report. Sir, there is a girl from Heaven Mountain. She sent us something. The guard reported. Sent something? Qin family head frowned and looked at the guard. Let her enter. I want to see what tricks they are playing. The Bei family elder stood up in rage with a cold expression. Right, let her enter. I want to see whether she is really not afraid to die, actually daring to come here. Hunshan Path's elder said. The guard looked at the Qin family head. He didn't dare to head out without his agreement. Let her enter. She is a guest. I want to see whether she is a nice guest or an evil one. The Qin family head said coldly. The guard ran out quickly. All the factions in the courtyard didn't say a word as they looked in the direction of the gate. This was the first time they came into contact with the people in Heaven Mountain. Da-da-da! Crisp footsteps reverberated. Along with the sound of clanging armor, a scent entered their noses. Moon Angel Yuzuna walked in with her exquisite body and well-proportioned legs. Shua shua shua. At that moment, numerous gazes landed on her body. There were people who were confused, people who were tempted, people who wanted to kill her. After Qin family head saw Moon Angel, his eyes froze. He thought back to what Qingling said before he was killed. Qin Kun was killed by his sister Moon. His sister Moon was this girl who had a great body and high cultivation. Qin Yu. Qin family head gritted his teeth. He was sure of Moon Angel Yuzuna's identity. He wouldn't be wrong, Moon Angel was definitely Qin Yu. Moon Angel looked towards Qin family head. She would never be able to forget that face. He was the one who announced that she was the martyr of the new generation. One could say that everything happened because of this Qin family head. This was why Moon Angel bowed and grinned. Who knew whether she was grateful or actually filled with disdain? Moon Angel Yuzuna, greetings Qin family head. The Qin family head stood with his arms behind his back and laughed coldly. You betrayed my Qin family and became someone else's subordinate. You even changed your name. He was mocking Moon Angel for being Heaven Mountain's master's dog. Right, master gave me this name and I think that it sounds nicer than Qin Yu. Moon Angel didn't care. Instead, she felt proud of it. Qin family's face turned cold and his aura pressed down like a mountain. Do you think you can really fight against me now? Moon Angel took a step back. She didn't dare to face Qin family head's terrifying cultivation as she would definitely be defeated. Moon Angel suddenly recalled the invitation that Master gave her. I am here to send an invitation on behalf of Master to invite you to come to Heaven Mountain in 3 days to attend a feast. At that time, you will know who Heaven Mountain belongs to. Moon Angel took out the invitation letter that Li Xiandao gave him. In the Bank of the Universe, Li Xiandao absorbed the soul power of the soul-suppressing stone to improve himself. At the same time, he also saw that the factions had gathered and looked like they were going to attack. This was why he called Moon Angel to tell her to send an invitation. This was the reason why Moon Angel came here. Hong! The moment the invitation was taken out, an aura no weaker than the Qin family head exploded. A voice came out from the letter. In 3 days, Li Xiandao respectfully invites all of you to attend. Those who don't come and still want to taint Heaven Mountain will be killed without pardon. Li Xiandao's overbearing voice reverberated in the courtyard. Chapter 334, Sword Energy Clone. Li Xiandao's words infuriated everyone present. They were all furious as they stared at Moon Angel. Your master doesn't care about or respect us. Hunshan Path's elder raged. Shameless, ignorant, and arrogant. Bei family's elder said coldly. Qin family head said in disdain, did your master really think that we would listen to his words to head to the feast? Moon Angel wasn't nervous at all and said, my master said that you can choose not to, but from now on, anyone who dares step foot on Heaven Mountain in the next 3 days will die. Hunshan Path's elder laughed out loud and looked at Moon Angel in disdain, your master is so amazing and can control whether we enter. Bei family's elder mocked and said, is your master crazy? Heaven Mountain is 10,000 miles long, so can your master restrict every one of us? The Qin family head said coldly. No one present believed Moon Angel's words and felt like he was just talking nonsense. If you don't believe me, then you can try. Moon Angel was really confident in her master, so she was calm and confident. Bei family elder laughed coldly, I will let you give up and let you see that your master is bragging. To think you even believe his words. Bei family elder waved his hand and instantly 3 Bei family disciples entered Heaven Mountain from different directions. Open your eyes and take a good look. These 3 disciples are descendants of my Bei family. For your master to kill them easily is just nonsense. Bei family elder laughed coldly. Moon Angel didn't even look. She just stared at them and said confidently, I don't need to open my eyes. All of you are the ones who need to open your eyes. The Bei family elder squinted and looked at his family's 3 children. The other faction members were looking too. They didn't believe Moon Angel's words, but since Moon Angel was so confident, they were suspicious and just looked on silently. The courtyard became silent. Dozens of top factions all looked on silently. No one spoke and everyone just looked on quietly. Bei family's 3 people were quick. They were all Grotto Heaven and they entered Heaven Mountain from 3 directions. They didn't believe Moon Angel's words either, so they just wanted to charge in without hesitation. How is this difficult? A Bei family disciple said in disdain. Didn't I enter? It seemed like this Heaven Mountain master was just talking big. Another Bei family disciple mocked. Only the last Bei family disciple sensed that something was not right and looked into the sky in disbelief. A streak of sword energy shot down from Heaven Mountain. The sword energy came from Xiandao. Xiandao was in the bank of the universe, closing his eyes and cultivating. He did two things at once and monitored Heaven Mountain at the same time. Bei family's 3 people charged over and Xiandao sensed it right away. He laughed coldly, "They really aren't afraid of dying. Then, I will use your lives to show the people of Cold Moon Sky how strong I am." He pointed forward using his fingers to form a sword. A streak of sword energy shot down and exploded. It split into 3 and then shot out from 3 areas. This was why only one person noticed, but it was too late. He couldn't block it at all. Pu pu pu. 3 of them were pierced and pinned to the ground right away. Their bodies trembled and they died painlessly. They trembled because their bodies still hadn't reacted and they didn't know that they were already dead. 5 seconds later, Heaven Mountain had 3 more corpses. All this was seen by all the factions in the courtyard. Someone sucked in a cold breath. Someone frowned and found it tough. Some people didn't care and just disregarded Xiandao's strike. But the Bei family elder was furious and stared at Moon Angel. He hollered, "I will kill you." Because of his mistake, Bei family lost 3 more geniuses. His heart was bleeding, so he wanted to vent all that anger on Moon Angel's body. The power that exploded was of Legend Realm. Moon Angel took a step back and she looked at the Bei family elder with a solemn expression. Hong! The Bei family elder was furious. He made a mistake and sent 3 children to scout to confirm whether or not it was true. But the 3 of them were dead and he was the cause of it. But how could he dare to take such responsibility, so he swiftly shifted it to Moon Angel. "My Bei family lost 3 genius disciples all because of your arrival. I am going to kill you to take revenge." Bei family elder hollered in rage. His body charged forth and he wanted to kill Moon Angel. Explosion! The elder's aura was terrifying and it spread swiftly. It locked down the region and made it hard for Moon Angel to move. Moon Angel stood rooted to the spot and didn't move. She allowed Bei family elder to attack her. She even smiled and looked at him. "What are you smiling at?" Bei family elder hollered in rage. "I am smiling because you are about to die." Moon Angel smiled coldly. "You are being arrogant again, but you are going to die now." Bei family elder punched and was about to hit Moon Angel's forehead. Hong! This fist was really strong and terrifying. If Moon Angel wanted to avoid and unlock Full Moon's first seal, she could have avoided it. But she didn't. This was because she believed that Master would save her. As expected, when the fist was about to reach her head, a sword energy shot forth from afar. It was really terrifying and quick and appeared in front of her in an instant. Hong! The sword energy was like a rainbow, shocking everyone in the courtyard. In the next second, along with a scream, an arm was sliced off and blood spurted on the ground. "Ah! My arm!" Bei family elder cried out and covered his wound. He looked at Moon Angel in disbelief. From start to finish, Moon Angel didn't even move. She trusted her master. Master wouldn't disappoint her. A streak of sword energy from tens of thousands of miles away sliced forth and broke Bei family elder's arm. This sword energy didn't dissipate and instead turned into Xiandao. He was wearing a white shirt and a mask. He looked around and scoffed coldly, "I let Moon Angel send an invitation and that's how you factions treat messengers." This was Xiandao's sword energy clone. Everyone knew that. But even if they knew that this was a clone, everyone was shocked. After all, many people didn't have the ability to slice off the Bei family elder's arm. Qin family head asked coldly, "Aren't you a little too overbearing?" Xiandao looked at the Qin family head and said bluntly, "Whether you're overbearing or not depends on strength. In 3 days, I will welcome everyone at Heaven Lake. Anyone who enters in these 3 days will die." Chapter 335, 3-day deadline. Everyone present was infuriated by Li Xiandao's overbearing words. Hunshan Path Elder's face was filled with rage. He pointed at Li Xiandao and said in disdain, "You are just a sword energy clone and you dare to behave like this in front of all of us." Li Xiandao said coldly, "I am only a streak of sword energy, but I can kill any one of you. Don't force my real body to come." Hunshan Path Elder looked at Li Xiandao in frustration. He knew that those words were correct and Li Xiandao's true body would be terrifying. But to make him yield would be impossible. "I have never seen someone like you in my life. I don't know if you are self-confident or arrogant." Qin family head stopped Hunshan Path Elder. He faced Li Xiandao and his aura surged. Li Xiandao's sword energy wasn't any weaker and its aura was on the same level as the Qin family head. He said, "Confidence and arrogance. You will find out in 3 days. Okay, in 3 days, I want to see how strong the Master of Heaven Mountain is at Heaven Lake." Qin family head smiled coldly. "But before that, this person is my Qin family's traitor and she has to stay." Qin family head pointed and said coldly. Moon Angel was involved in the deaths of her 2 sons, so how could Qin family head release her? Qin family traitor. Li Xiandao burst out laughing and said loudly, "Moon Angel is one of my 4 angels. She is not your Qin family traitor." Qin family head stared at Li Xiandao in rage and said with a cold tone, "Heaven Mountain Master, you are determined to protect my Qin family traitor." Li Xiandao said calmly, "If you have the ability to, then you can try." Qin family head smiled in anger, "Okay, then I will try. I want to see whether or not your streak of sword energy can bring her away from me. You want to test my strength?" Li Xiandao's eyes lit up and he was preparing to go. He had just absorbed a large amount of soul power from the soul-suppressing stone and it greatly increased his ability. He still didn't know how strong he had become. Since Qin family head wanted to help Li Xiandao understand his own strength, naturally, he accepted. The Qin family head stepped forwards. Hong! His aura swept around like a storm. It spread quickly and expanded. In an instant, the entire courtyard was ripped up from the ground. Explosion! A few miles around was in chaos. This was just his aura. The Qin family head was indeed strong. The people from the other factions retreated. They looked at the 2 experts fight from far away. Black light wrapped around. Qin family head stared at Li Xiandao and warned, "Hand over my Qin family traitor or don't blame me for what I am going to do. I really want to see what you will do." Li Xiandao laughed coldly. Even if he was only a streak of sword energy, there was nothing for him to be afraid of. "Leave now. I want to see who dares to stop you." Li Xiandao said towards Moon Angel. "Yes, Master." Moon Angel listened. Li Xiandao told her to leave, so she did. She didn't delay and wasn't worried about Li Xiandao's safety. In her heart, Master was invincible. The Qin family head was strong, but in front of Master, he definitely was no match for him. Moon Angel's respect for Li Xiandao was deep in her bones. This was why she turned around and left. The Qin family head focused and smiled in rage, "You look down on me. Today, I will let you know how strong the Qin family's techniques are." Hong! The Qin family head attacked right away. He clenched his hand and slapped. Heaven-raising seal. This strike was really powerful. The palm became bigger and covered the sky. The sky became dark and vast power surged forwards. Hong hong hong. Cracks appeared in the space and a terrifying aura covered Li Xiandao. Many people were shocked by the Qin family head's strike. As expected from the Qin family head, from just one attack, one could see the difference between normal people. Li Xiandao was calm and looked straight at the hand. He placed his fingers together like a sword and pointed forwards. Hong! Sword energy exploded. This was the sword move that the clone used. It was still strong and a dark glow shot forth, splitting the palm into two. Li Xiandao's sword energy was really terrifying. The Qin family head's heaven-raising seal slammed down, but it was still shattered by Li Xiandao's sword energy strike. In the next second, Li Xiandao stepped forwards. "You gave me a slap, so now it's time for me to give you a sword." Qin family head's expression changed. He retreated instead of heading forwards, pulling open the distance with Li Xiandao. But Li Xiandao didn't care. He just shouted, with the thought, "The flower opens." Li Xiandao's body was wrapped in sword energy and it was all gathered in this strike. Explosion! Li Xiandao's sword energy gathered together, turning into a beautiful flower. The sword energy was translucent and the flower was really beautiful. With a slight breeze, the petals fell to the ground. From afar, the petals were beautiful but also really terrifying. One couldn't tell whether it was Li Xiandao or the flowers. All of them flew towards the Qin family head. The Qin family head couldn't dodge it. With a thought, the flower opened. The autumn sword energy. This strike was gathered from all the energy in this clone. It covered the Qin family head and caused his expression to change. Moon Essence Heaven Scripture. Qin family head used Qin family's top technique. A silver moon appeared from his palm and charged out. Explosion! Li Xiandao's petal sword struck the moon and a giant aura and glow instantly exploded. It shone brightly and lit up the area. Energy that was hard to suppress pressed down on the area around like it was about to destroy heaven and earth. Explosion! With this courtyard as the center, 10 miles around was instantly cleared out. Numerous buildings collapsed. Luckily, the people from the various factions had left, otherwise, they would have been injured. Pui! Qin family head's moon was sliced by Li Xiandao's flower petals. Numerous petals struck his chest and he spat out a mouthful of fresh blood. He took several steps back and he looked around in astonishment. Li Xiandao was gone. The petals were gone. Moon Angel was gone. Qin family head frowned and wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. Such strong power! Just one streak of sword energy is so strong. This Heaven Mountain Master is not easy to deal with. When the people from the other factions saw this, they were all silent. They looked at Heaven Mountain and from afar, it was as if they could see Li Xiandao standing to the side of Heaven Lake looking down on them. In 3 days, the Master of Heaven Mountain has to die. Bei family broke an arm. His expression was vicious and he left after turning around. He was going to find the Bei family experts to support him. Chapter 336, Good to be Young. In the Bank of the Universe, Li Xiandao opened his eyes and breathed out. My strength isn't too bad. If I raise it a little, the sword energy will be able to kill the Qin family head. Li Xiandao said regretfully. If the Qin family head heard this, he would have spat out blood in frustration. Your sword energy clone already made me spit out blood and you are not satisfied? In truth, Li Xiandao was really not satisfied. He looked at the soul-suppressing stone and his eyes shone, it still has enormous power. During this time, I will break through and in 3 days, I will solve Heaven Mountain's problems at Heaven Lake. Li Xiandao's told Moon Angel to send the invitation so as to buy himself some time. Now that he had shocked and stunned all of them, the next 3 days would be peaceful. If they caused more trouble in 3 days, Li Xiandao would have the confidence to deal with them. Moreover, Murong Longcheng, Giant Titan, Poison Python, Lingwu were all training hard. They were all really strong. The 4 of them worked together to pin Ma Qing in Heaven Mountain. In 10,000 years, if they worked together again, how terrifying would they be? This was why Li Xiandao needed 3 days. In 3 days, Heaven Lake would have a feast. 7. Send my orders, open a place in Heaven Lake to organize a feast. In 3 days, I will welcome the various factions of Cold Moon Sky. Li Xiandao said. 7 replied, I know, but you need to be careful. If someone really strong comes, it will be hard for you to deal with them. Li Xiandao smiled, if that kind of person comes, then I will hide in the bank of the universe to cultivate. I will cultivate for a period of time and then deal with him. But based on the current situation, the various factions only sent their top disciples and elders. The true experts haven't come out yet. 7 and Li Xiandao communicated with one another. The two of them were in their own rooms. They didn't see each other and were just sneakily talking to one another. Naturally, these factions are not stupid. Heaven Mountain has so many resources, but it is not worth letting their hidden experts attack. Moreover, there are also people from the celestial world directing them. No one wants to be the target of the celestial world. Li Xiandao guessed. Did the people not know that the celestial gate was locked? They definitely knew. Only tens of thousands of years passed? Something that was so huge then, and the fact that some people were still alive. People from celestial world wanted to open the celestial gate, so they ordered the various factions to attack Heaven Mountain. The people from the factions came, and then upon closer inspection, they were top disciples, elders, and the strongest ones were the family heads. But we have killed so many of them, so people will definitely get anxious. We should be more careful. 7 reminded Li Xiandao. I know. Li Xiandao nodded his head and ended the conversation with 7. He called Murong Longcheng and the other 3 over. The 4 of them were Li Xiandao's strongest people, and naturally, Li Xiandao had to take care of them. To defend against the top experts from coming, Li Xiandao decided to open the time hall for them. He would let them spend a few hundred years inside, and even if they couldn't break through, they could grasp the techniques that Li Xiandao gave them. Li Xiandao would also enter the time hall and absorb the soul power within the soul-suppressing stone. An endless black ocean would definitely help Li Xiandao improve greatly. In a short while, Murong Longcheng, Giant Titan, Poison Python, and Lingwu were all here. Master! They greeted sincerely. After gaining Li Xiandao's cultivation technique, they returned to cultivate and felt like they had improved a lot, especially the Giant Titan. His body was huge in the past and he was 10 meters tall. Now, he was just 3 meters and his strength had increased by several folds. Titan race's god technique was obviously really strong. Along with their bloodline, it helped the Giant Titan to improve quickly. He was the most loyal to Li Xiandao out of the 4 of them. This was because he wasn't a cunning individual and was actually a bit slow. Put simply, he wasn't that smart and just focused fully on his own cultivation. He would be loyal to anyone who treated him well. He would never betray them. Murong Longcheng treated him well and took him in, so he helped Murong Longcheng defend Heaven Mountain for 20,000 years. Now, Murong Longcheng joined Li Xiandao. He joined too. Li Xiandao treated him well, so he went all out to be loyal to him. Li Xiandao liked the way he thought. You have all gotten the cultivation techniques, so follow me. Li Xiandao got up and brought them to the time hall. Normally, Li Xiandao wouldn't use it. That was because if one spent 500 years inside, one would have to pay a price of 1,000 years. Moreover, it was just a heavy grind and one wouldn't be able to improve by much. If grinding was useful, then people wouldn't need luck or resources. If everyone just spent their time in their manners, they would definitely become celestials in 10,000 years. Only at such a special moment would Li Xiandao enter it. For example, to absorb the soul power in the soul-suppressing stone required time, so the time hall was suitable. Murong Longcheng and the others needed to control the technique that Li Xiandao gave them, so it was good for them to enter the time hall too. The others would just cultivate the same when they entered the time hall, so their improvement wouldn't be that great. Why not fight to the death? Li Xiandao brought them all to the time hall entrance and told them the rules of the place. You can choose how many years to pay. Li Xiandao asked. Murong Longcheng and the other 3 looked at the time hall in shock. This concerned the time domain. It was a supreme ability. To be able to build a time hall was just so terrifying. They looked at Li Xiandao, filled with more respect for him. Master, I am really old and don't have much time. I only have 100 years. Murong Longcheng said. He was really old and was from the same era as old man Tianqi. He was just a few hundred years younger than him. Old man Tianqi had been dead for tens of thousands of years, while Murong Longcheng even paid 10,000 years in his trade with the Bank of the Universe. So, this 100 years was a lot already. Li Xiandao nodded. 100 years, so he could spend 50 years inside. 50 years was enough for Murong Longcheng to control Li Xiandao's technique. Master, I will choose 1,000 years. Giant Titan said excitedly. He wanted to successfully cultivate the Titan race technique and also purify his bloodline to better himself. He would be able to do so in 1,000 years. I will also choose 1,000 years. The poison python smiled and looked at Master. He hoped to leave a good impression. The poison python knew that he was always solemn and didn't like to laugh and seemed really cold. To not give Li Xiandao such an impression, he started to practice how to smile. I will also choose 1,000 years. Ling Wu said. Murong Longcheng looked at the three of them in envy. It was so good to be young. Chapter 337, Start of the Meeting. Firstly, he sent Murong Longcheng, Giant Titan, Poison Python, and Ling Wu into the time hall. He helped them adjust the flow of time before he entered himself. Li Xiandao didn't choose 1,000 years, and instead, he burned 2,000 years straight away. Burning 2,000 years allowed him to spend 1,000 years in the time hall. Li Xiandao stepped in, closed his eyes, and slowly improved himself. Li Xiandao also brought the soul-suppressing stone in. It exploded with a loud boom. It released all the soul power that was contained within. The energy surged. A black ocean spread throughout the time hall. Fortunately, Li Xiandao was in a separate space that was huge enough, pretty much an unlimited amount of space. It was able to contain this whole black ocean. Li Xiandao didn't sit cross-legged. He just laid there and was drowned in the black ocean. Li Xiandao's Denshan, soul, and pores absorbed this power, especially his soul. It jumped out of his body and started to crazily absorb the soul energy. Time passed bit by bit and Li Xiandao's soul grew very quickly. It turned from a little baby into someone as big as Li Xiandao. His body sunk to the bottom of the black ocean and drowned. His soul was floating on the surface and he continued to absorb it. Time passed minute by minute. After 100 years, the black ocean was 1/5 smaller. Maintaining this rate, in 500 years, Li Xiandao finally finished absorbing the giant black ocean. The strength of Li Xiandao's physical body and soul jumped considerably. The energy in his body was being condensed. If one used a needle and pierced Li Xiandao's soul, Li Xiandao would definitely suffer heavy injuries now. Li Xiandao could peacefully absorb it only because he was inside the time hall. I absorbed the energy, but I need to merge it to increase my strength. Li Xiandao opened his eyes and looked as his soul and body walked to each other and started to merge. Explosion! At that moment, Li Xiandao's cultivation increased significantly. In the next 500 years, Li Xiandao's cultivation continued to improve. He had successfully absorbed the soul-suppressing stone's soul power. After 500 years, Li Xiandao stepped out from the time hall gate and 3 days had passed in the outside world. He had no aura at all and just walked out really simply like an ordinary person. Every movement of his was really simple and he didn't seem powerful at all. But to Murong Longcheng and the other three, when they saw Li Xiandao's back, they were all shocked. Master, Murong Longcheng exclaimed. Heaven and earth in one body. Ling Wu gulped in envy. Master is so strong. Poison Python praised. Isn't it normal for Master to be strong? Giant Titan said loudly. The four of them could see that Li Xiandao was a part of the world. Li Xiandao turned his head with his mask on and asked them, you have controlled your cultivation techniques. Yes. Mirong Longcheng nodded. Master, I can lead the line for you and slay all enemies. Giant Titan said coldly. He clenched his fists and cracked his knuckles. He was still 3 meters tall, but his vital energy was extremely thick. His body was purple and seemed very powerful. The poison python smiled, Master, my poison has evolved many times, and unless one is really strong, one definitely won't be able to block it. Master, my sword technique has also improved. Ling Wu added. Li Xiandao looked at them and nodded his head. Since that is the case, then we can all set off. The Heaven Mountain feast is about to begin. This time we have to solve Heaven Mountain's troubles. Heaven Mountain range was silent for 3 days, but today many people entered. A large portion of Cold Moon Sky's top powers were here. Apart from some who weren't interested in Heaven Mountain. The Qin family had brought many people. They weren't of the younger generation, they were the elders. Some of them were seniors who were in secluded meditation. The Qin family head's expression was cold as he stepped into Heaven Mountain. He saw a person waiting right away. God of Light. He had been waiting here long ago and reached out to invite. Greetings, my master has set up a feast at Heaven Lake, please. As they say, one doesn't hit a person who smiles. The Qin family head, who was furious, just said coldly, his feast is probably the last meal that your master will eat. Tian Guangming remembered Seven's orders and he didn't get angry. He just reached out to welcome him. Qin family head scoffed coldly. He passed Tian Guangming and rushed towards Heaven Lake. Not only Qin family head, but there were also Qing family head and his family experts. Hunshan Path's sect leader also brought many experts over. Bei family brought 30 elders at once and the leader was a blind old man. When he looked at the old man, the Qin family head didn't care that he was angry anymore and greeted, Qin family head greets old Bei. The blind old man waved his hand, I came to have a look. Heaven Mountain always didn't have a master and I have never heard about this, so I wanted to see what was going on. He's just an arrogant and ignorant person. Why did old Bei have to be troubled? The Qin family head grumbled and blamed the people from Bei family for letting an old man come here. It's okay. I also came because of young master Bei Chen. He was my Bei family's future hope, so now that he's been killed, they have to give me an explanation. Old Bei laughed and said. Qin family head's heart tightened and he smiled at this old man. He panicked a little and took a few steps back. Old Bei is right. Please head in. Let's go in together. The master is receiving us, so let's not let him wait for so long. Old Bei giggled and said. Qin family head told Old Bei to walk first before he was willing. Old Bei couldn't stop Qin family head from doing that and smiled. People from Qin family are really polite. Qin family head watched as Old Bei walked up. His expression changed and he frowned at the people behind. This old monster is here, so what can we do? He is so old, so there shouldn't be any problems. An old man who had been secretly cultivating frowned. Let's just wait and see. Our main goal is to capture Qin Yu. It doesn't matter if we don't have any resources. Qin family elder said. Okay, we have to get Qin Yu back. She dared to betray us and thinks about living such a good life. She is asking to die. Qin family head said coldly and followed them into Heaven Lake. Heaven Lake was huge. It was covered in white snow. It was surrounded by ancient trees that were all connected to each other. There were many peaks and every one of them was shorter than Heaven Lake. It was like there were 10,000 guards protecting Heaven Lake. Heaven Lake was huge and there were many other ponds beside it. Clouds covered the area and it was an extremely beautiful sight. Besides this, there was a huge area that was turned into the location of the feast. Snow-white land, tables and chairs were lined up, forming a huge circle. Chapter 338, Emperor's Aura. The beautiful Heaven Lake was so beautiful that everyone was fixated by it. Someone exclaimed, this place is like paradise. Hunshan Path's sect leader scoffed coldly, this place will belong to us in the future, so there is no need to be envious. After today, Heaven Lake will not belong to one person, it will be shared by all of us. The moment he said this, everyone became really emotional. They looked around and many of them envisioned bringing the girl they liked here. How beautiful would those scenes be? People from the various factions arrived here, surrounding Heaven Lake before they sat down. We are all here, so where is your master? An old man laughed coldly, filled with killing intent. He looked at Li Xiandao's subordinates with an unfriendly gaze. Suddenly, there was a loud shout from far away, but they could still hear it. A mountain-like giant body smashed into the side of Heaven Lake. It was a 3-meter tall, purple body that seemed quite strong. Vital energy exploded and drowned the area. Each breath he took felt like a lightning strike. You are looking for my master. Giant Titan stepped forwards, landing in the middle and looking around. He looked at the old man who spoke. The old man's breathing stopped and he felt a terrifying pressure spreading everywhere. All the people around found it hard to breathe. The giant Titan's strength was immense and it sent a chill down one's spine. Everyone present frowned and looked on. Was he sending a message? The giant Titan was strong and even the elders of the various factions all became serious. You threatened us all right away. Do you think we are easy to scare? Hunshan Path's sect leader scoffed coldly. He fearlessly stared at the giant Titan. Even if the giant Titan's aura was strong, sect leader level people wouldn't be afraid of him because they weren't weak. Moreover, the various factions had sent so many experts. My master is on the way, so calm down. If anyone dares to behave rudely, don't blame me for reciprocating. The giant Titan said coldly. He stared at Hunshan Path's sect leader and noted who this person was. How overbearing! An old man from Qing family smacked the table and raged in unhappiness. This is my master's heaven mountain. All of you are just guests and after today this whole matter will be dealt with. All of you want to provoke my master. A cold aura spread all about. The place was originally covered in snow, so the temperature was very low. Now that the aura spread out, the temperature dropped once more. Who dares to act mysteriously here? The Qing family old man raged. You want me to come out? The dark aura grew larger and larger. It felt as if a terrifying monster was about to break out of the soil. Everyone looked at each other and didn't know what was going on. But it felt dangerous. Scram out! Why are you hiding in the dark? The Qing family old man hollered. His aura rose up to the sky and he looked around. Explosion! But in the next second, a giant shout shattered his aura. While everyone looked on in disbelief, a 1,000-foot python appeared from beneath Heaven Lake. Its armor was strong and its poisonous fangs were sharp. Its body was green, and from just one look, one knew that it was filled with poison. A giant python itself was overpowered. Now that it had poison, this terrifying aura suppressed everyone present. Hwalala! The poison python drilled out from Heaven Lake. Its body was huge and it straightened itself to look down on everyone with its cold eyes. This pressure filled everyone with shock. They stared at it, stunned, especially the old man from Bei family whose expression became solemn. If this poison python and the giant titan work together, I won't be able to block them. Bei family members looked at old Bei in shock. They knew how strong this old man was and he was extremely close to becoming an emperor. He actually said such a thing? What shocked them was that once the poison python appeared, someone walked over from the endless snowstorm. A man in a white shirt walked over. Snow landed on his body and just lightly jumped onto the ground. The white shirt was like snow. He wore a mask and stepped forwards with unparalleled strength. Dong! The ground shook. This was not a simple earthquake but the veins in the ground were jumping. It felt like it had jumped into everyone's hearts. Everyone's hearts jumped together. Many sect leader level people stared at Li Xiandao in disbelief, their expressions changing. This. I actually jumped along with it. Hunshan Path's sect leader covered his heart. He didn't dare to believe it. This person is the master of Heaven Mountain. An elder looked on in shock. His heart sunk. Supreme expert, this person has reached Emperor realm. Bei family old Bei muttered. His body shook in disbelief. His heart was also jumping along with Li Xiandao's footsteps. He was someone extremely close to Emperor realm. Dong! Li Xiandao's second step caused the earth veins to come alive. They jumped up and down intensely. Everyone else's hearts continued to jump. People who were weak spat out mouthfuls of blood and their hearts were about to explode. Li Xiandao got closer and closer and he took a third step. Pu. In that instant, the hearts of those below Legend Realm exploded. Li Xiandao's step killed a few hundred people. All of their hearts exploded from the pressure and they died on the spot. The various sect leaders, elders, and hidden experts were about to go mad. Emperor! The Bei family old Bei stood up in shock and rage. He stared at Li Xiandao and shouted. He was really sure that the master of Heaven Mountain was an emperor. Emperor's strength was on full display at that moment. They were able to easily suppress those with low cultivation. Li Xiandao's 4 steps caused the snow on the mountain to dance. The Dao descended and it was really scary. When an emperor moved, he would be able to utilize the world's Dao. Now, Li Xiandao was using his cultivation to suppress them. Hong! People of Legend Realm couldn't take it. They spat out blood and fell to the ground, taking their dying breaths. Li Xiandao took 4 steps to reach them and he stood with his arms behind his back. From now onward, no faction can interfere in Heaven Mountain. Whoever tries will die. Such overbearing words along with his straightened body made everyone think that they were looking at an invincible celestial. So, who agrees and who objects? Li Xiandao looked around and asked. No one dared to object. Bei family old Bei raised his hand and said firmly, my Bei family objects. Based on what? Li Xiandao asked calmly. You are an emperor but my Bei family has emperors too. Old Bei hollered. Li Xiandao looked towards the sky and an emperor who brought with him a sliver of the Dao stepped on a cloud. His aura was unparalleled and it swept Heaven Mountain. Since you are here, then be the dead soul under my emperor's sword. Li Xiandao didn't hold back, pointing into the sky with his fingers which he had formed into a sword. Hong! The area shook. A streak of sword energy sandwiched with snow scattered. With a loud explosion, the sword energy turned into numerous snowflakes. Li Xiandao stood outside Heaven Mountain. It started snowing and this snow covered an emperor. The emperor was furious and similar to Li Xiandao, he had just gotten into this realm. But it was obvious that he was no match for Li Xiandao. Snow scattered down and landed on his body but it was extremely damaging. Although it sliced his clothes, his physical body was unscathed. Instead, it hurt his soul. Soul sword. This was the sword technique that Li Xiandao comprehended after absorbing the soul energy into the soul-suppressing stone. To directly kill the soul, no matter how strong your body was, you wouldn't be able to block that sword. Slice. An emperor was buried in snow. Li Xiandao looked towards those on Heaven Mountain. He was too lazy to speak and just turned around and slapped them. Hong! Murong Longcheng and the others were worried about the safety of Heaven Mountain. With Li Xiandao's slap, it solved everything. Murong Longcheng looked on from afar and gulped, if that emperor 10,000 years ago was as terrifying as master, we definitely wouldn't be able to protect Heaven Mountain. Ling Wu nodded and said in shock, that emperor can't even help master carry his shoes. Chapter 339, New Guest. On Heaven Lake, Li Xiandao used a snowstorm to bury an emperor far away. All Li Xiandao's subordinates exclaimed. Old Bei, who was the only one left, fell to the ground with a stunned expression on his face. Finished. I am finished. Old Bei was in a daze and he didn't understand why Heaven Mountain was so strong. Emperor. This was their Bei family's most amazing expert. He was an emperor who had grown while in the spotlight. The emperor who protected Bei family for at least 30,000 years had been killed so easily. He was killed by Li Xiandao's snowstorm. He couldn't accept that. Old Bei watched as that emperor grew. He wasn't able to break through to emperor, so he placed his hopes on the descendant. But this hope was not worth mentioning at all in Lin Fan's hands. He looked around and he was the only one who was at emperor-level cultivation. His other disciples, elders, and sect leaders were all amazed by Li Xiandao. I told you that I would give you an idea in 3 days. Are you all satisfied with that answer? Li Xiandao laughed coldly. He emotionlessly looked at a corpse. To see those small fights, Li Xiandao told Moon Angel to send the invitation letter. Li Xiandao knew that once he absorbed the enormous energy in the soul-suppressing stone, he would definitely be able to break through to Emperor Realm. At that point, all problems wouldn't be problems anymore. As expected, what seemed problematic just 3 days ago had been solved so easily. You madman! You killed people from dozens of large factions and also killed my family's emperor. Karma will definitely strike you. Old Bei trembled as he scolded. Li Xiandao was filled with disdain. I killed you. I remember that it was because you occupied Heaven Mountain and attacked. You were the ones who offended Heaven Mountain. Li Xiandao burst into a laugh. Old Bei was filled with regret and hate. We shouldn't have come here. Now, young Master Bei Chen and the Emperor is dead and our Bei family has no more hope. You can die too. Li Xiandao said coldly. I am so old, so it doesn't matter whether I die. But I am not willing to accept that you've destroyed our hope, so I have to kill you. Old Bei stood up in rage. He was the only person present who was alive staring at Li Xiandao. Hong! Cultivation that was extremely close to Emperor Realm exploded. Although it was not as terrifying as Li Xiandao controlling a part of heaven and earth, it was still really strong. You are no match for me. Li Xiandao said coldly. I know, but I still have to kill you. You killed so many Bei family members and if I don't do anything, then I will fail them. Old Bei hollered in anger. He raised his hand and gathered his strongest attack in his palms. Bei family's blazing flame appeared in the center. Beside Heaven Lake where the temperature was extremely low, a huge heat wave appeared from Old Bei's body. He activated all of his strength to fight to the death. I hope that you can kill me quickly and show me the true strength of an emperor, said Old Bei. Li Xiandao thought about it. Do you sense that something is not right? Old Bei frowned. What was the meaning of those words? You won't understand it either. Since you begged me when I was about to die, then I will satisfy you. Li Xiandao stepped forwards and many streaks of sword energy appeared from his body. Explosion! It covered heaven and earth and the sword energy was like rain as it swept the entire Heaven Mountain. At that moment, Heaven Mountain was surrounded by sword glows. Each sword energy was really strong and extremely terrifying. The people in front of the sword energy were dazzled. The sword energy ocean surged and he was drowned instantly. And then, there was nothing. Each streak of sword energy took a bit of his soul. In an instant, his soul felt like it was being ripped. Just as Li Xiandao said, he couldn't sense it. He couldn't sense how terrifying that sword was. The moment it made contact, he was dead. A short 5 seconds later, sword energy dissipated and so did the corpse. The sword energy ripped it to ashes and disappeared into the night sky. In just a moment, an expert extremely close to Emperor Realm wasn't able to use any moves. Li Xiandao was just so strong. Deal with these corpses. From now onward, Heaven Mountain will be locked down and no one is allowed to enter the inner circle. Normal people are allowed to hunt and cut trees outside. Li Xiandao instructed Murong Longcheng. As for him just killing someone close to Emperor realm, Li Xiandao didn't feel anything. Like when you stepped onto an ant, would you feel anything? Yes, master. Murong Longchen respected Li Xiandao. At that moment, he knew that his master was actually so amazing. He didn't know that just 3 days ago, Li Xiandao was not stronger than him. Luckily, Heaven Heart killed young Master Bei Chen and got to Soul Suppressing Stone, which helped Li Xiandao improve really quickly. Okay, our contract is complete. I have helped you defend Heaven Mountain and killed all enemies. From now onwards, all of you will move bricks and serve me. Li Xiandao said calmly. To be able to work for Master is Murong Longchen's honor. Murong Longchen said respectfully. The giant titan said with a deep voice, me too. The poison python lowered his head to show its respect. As for Li Xiandao's other subordinates, they yielded a long time ago. Okay, in the next few days, start mining and dealing with old deals. Li Xiandao raised his head, looking at the sky and muttering. Since he came into Cold Moon Sky, Li Xiandao hadn't dealt with any debt problems. He was either cultivating or solving problems. Only now did he finally break through to Emperor. He finally gained a foothold on Cold Moon Sky and had the confidence to deal with old debts. If not, Li Xiandao's subordinates were just Grotto Heaven, Boundless Realm people. If they went to collect debts, wouldn't they just be beaten to death? Stepping out, Li Xiandao entered the Bank of the Universe and found Seven to ask her about the debts. Who knew that Seven was looking for him too? She said, there is a guest. Li Xiandao was stunned. What a coincidence! A guest actually came when he was going to ask about the contract. What is his background? Li Xiandao asked. He brought Seven into the trading hall. Li Xiandao always looked forward to meeting new guests. Li Xiandao welcomed anyone who could bring profits to the Bank of the Universe. The new guest is a young handsome talent. Someone tried to steal his body, so he smashed the watch. Seven said. Is it someone I know? Li Xiandao said casually. Many acquaintances had come into the bank previously. No. Seven replied with certainty. Li Xiandao didn't care. Anyway, he had very few acquaintances in Cold Moon Sky. Chapter 340, Zhongzi Qi. In a deep mountainous forest, there was a monastery that hadn't been renovated for a long time. People who hacked trees of timber didn't dare to head in. This place was filled with random trees and plants that had vines wrapped around them. Numerous vines entangled this place and blocked the doors to the monastery. In the monastery, many poisonous bugs ran outside in panic. It was as if they were afraid they would be in danger if they were any slower. These poisonous bugs and snakes sensed that there was a terrifying thing inside the monastery. In it, a young man with broken legs looked at the terrifying monster ahead of him. There was a ball of demonic energy, and in it, there was a terrifying thing shining. This young man knew what this was, a soul. 100,000 years, you know. The soul in the demonic spirit cried. He wrapped around the young man and teared up. It turned into a highly acidic liquid that dropped down and corroded the ground. 100,000 years. I have been sealed for 100,000 years and no one came to save me. No one came. I had such a tough fate. The soul in the demonic energy cried out tragically. The young man gave a mocking laugh. If they knew that you treated someone who entered like that, they should be lucky that they didn't enter. He entered the forest to search for treasure. He noticed the monastery and then fell into the seal trap that was laid out. His legs were broken, so he couldn't escape. The soul in the demonic energy faked his tears and started to describe his sadness. I didn't force you. You stepped it yourself. The heavens decided this. He wanted you to save me. Since the heavens decided that, then we can only accept it. The soul in the demonic spirit said innocently. The rumbling demonic energy turned into a face, a harmless face. After all, the heavens are huge. The soul in the demonic energy said simply. You said that the heavens arranged this. The young man gave a mocking laugh and looked at the demon. Right, the heavens arranged it. The heavens are above all, and no matter what, we can't go against the heavens. The demon got close to the young man and sniffed him. He smelled the flesh on his body and was in love. Flesh smells so delicious. I haven't had flesh in 100,000 years, how pitiful. The demon sniffed and immersed within. The young man burst out laughing, You just want my body. Right, I want your body. Although your cultivation isn't high to me, that is okay. I just need your body. Your body is the greatest gift for me. The demon said emotionally. Do you think that you can soothe? The young man asked. I think so. The demon nodded. I don't think so. The young man retorted. What ability do you have to fight? The demon was stunned. He wasn't in a rush to kill the young man because he needed a body. So, this body couldn't die. Take a look. Do you know what this is? The young man reached out and a red watch appeared in his palm. The demon was stunned as he looked at the watch. He didn't know what was going on. What is that? The demon asked. Something that can save me. The young man crushed it. Kaka. His body slowly became illusionary. No. The demon hollered. It waited 100,000 years, 100,000 years of loneliness in exchange for one human body. No matter what, it wasn't willing to lose it again. I will take your body now. The demon hollered. While the young man became illusionary, the demon started to steal its body. The young man screamed. His head felt like it was about to rip open and he fainted. His body became paler and he disappeared. The demon also disappeared. Within the Bank of the Universe, Trading Hall. Xiandao was waiting for a guest. In the next second, a person appeared in the air and smashed heavily into the ground. Dong! A heavy thud reverberated all around. Xiandao and Seven glanced at one another. What is going on? Xiandao asked. Seven was in charge of all the guests' information. Seven reached out and slapped, waking up the unconscious young man. Save me, Master of the Bank of the Universe. I am willing to pay anything. After the young man woke up and realized the situation, he knelt down and begged. It was obvious that he had found out about the Bank of the Universe through the watch, saving Xiandao time to explain. Sit up first. Xiandao said calmly. This young man definitely faced some huge problems and it was definitely a matter of life and death. Xiandao's first thought was how much he should con him. After going through the Heaven Mountain matter, Xiandao felt that he was too merciful. In the future, he should ask for more things in the contracts. The young man sat up. He couldn't stand as his legs were broken. Sit in the chair. Xiandao continued to speak calmly. The young man used true qi to fly up onto the chair. He looked nervously at Xiandao. Introduce yourself and tell me what problems you are facing. Xiandao nodded and said. After Xiandao's cold treatment, the young man calmed down and started to describe his own matters. I am Zhong Ziaiqi, I am a traveler who travels the various worlds. The young man said. Xiandao's eyes lit up, travels various worlds. Zhong Ziaiqi nodded, I travel the 9 skies and collect treasures, searching unknown domains. This is my interest. I am 3,000 years old and have traveled the 9 skies for close to 3,000 years. Zhong Ziaiqi seemed young but he was already 3,000 years old. He was really knowledgeable and had seen all sorts of things. He knew about many people and matters in the 9 skies and he was pretty much an encyclopedia of the 9 skies. This was also why he was able to talk so calmly with the demon. Even with broken legs, he didn't panic. Continue. Xiandao listened calmly. I came to Cold Moon Sky to find treasure but I didn't find anything. Instead, I just found a demon. Zhong Ziqi took in a deep breath. Such a strong demon? Li Xiandao asked. He stared at Zhong Ziqi's head. In it, Li Xiandao saw a ball of demonic energy that was suppressed by the power of the Bank of the Universe. The demon had entered Zhong Ziqi's body and entered the Bank of the Universe along with him. I am at Legend Realm and have nearly reached Grandmaster Realm. But in the demon's eyes, I am very weak. Zhong Ziqi choked on water. In Cold Moon Sky, after Grotto Heaven, Boundless Realm, and then Legend Realm, were the 9 stages of Grandmaster Realm. After Grandmaster Realm was Emperor Realm. Legend Realm was after Emperor Realm. A demon said that someone at peak Legend Realm was weak, so that demon had to be strong. But no matter how strong it was useless. It had entered the Bank of the Universe, but here, Li Xiandao was the boss. Chapter 341, 3-Minute Thing. Li Xiandao looked at Zhong Ziqi and the demon in his head before asking, so, you want the Bank of the Universe to help you? Help me wipe out this demon. I don't want it to steal my body. It has entered my mind and I can sense it. Once I leave this place, it will swallow me. Zhong Ziqi said anxiously. Da-da-da. Li Xiandao tapped the table and said calmly, the demon seems really strong. What are you planning to pay for me to wipe out such a strong demon for you? Zhong Ziqi took in a deep breath and said, I can take out many treasures. Li Xiandao looked at him calmly, no matter how many treasures you have, are they more important than your life? I have a celestial artifact. Zhong Ziqi said anxiously. Li Xiandao stopped and his tone changed, it seems like you need to rely on treasures to protect your life. Zhong Ziqi nodded, I have a celestial artifact that I can take out to ask you to wipe out this demon. Li Xiandao watched as he casually took out a celestial artifact. He tapped the table and said slowly, one celestial artifact is not enough. Zhong Ziqi was stunned. One celestial artifact was not enough? 7 gave Li Xiandao a thumbs up. How greedy! Since Zhong Ziqi could roam the 9 skies to search for treasures, then he definitely had many treasures on him. Li Xiandao wouldn't show weakness. This demon doesn't have a body and wants yours. Once you die, your treasures will be his. Your years of hard work will become his overnight. Li Xiandao said. These words really affected Zhong Ziqi. His head hurt when he thought about how much effort he spent collecting these treasures only for them to be taken by the demon. Zhong Ziqi was a man and he couldn't handle such humiliation. 2 celestial artifacts. Zhong Ziqi raised 2 fingers. He said firmly. Li Xiandao blinked. He didn't expect to have such unexpected gains, acquiring 2 celestial artifacts just like that. This was the biggest contract out of all those that he had signed. But Li Xiandao still didn't agree and shook his head, it is still lacking a little. Li Xiandao wanted to continue conning Zhong Ziqi. His intuition told him that Zhong Ziqi could continue to hand over more treasures. Not even with 2 celestial artifacts. Zhong Ziqi's eyes opened wide. At that moment, he sensed Li Xiandao's greed. You think 2 celestial artifacts can extend your life? Li Xiandao asked. Zhong Ziqi didn't say anything. We are trading and not bidding. I will give you what you need. But you must pay a huge price for what I give you. Only then will it be worth your life. Li Xiandao explained. 7 looked at Li Xiandao completely differently and for the first time felt that he was really cunning. But she did like this a lot. He helped the Bank of the Universe earn money. Zhong Ziqi gritted his teeth, I have already paid a huge price. He raised 2 fingers and said helplessly, I have only gotten 2 celestial artifacts and I'm taking them all out. Continue to add, otherwise, we won't discuss this anymore. You will have to head out. Li Xiandao sighed and prepared to send him off. 2 celestial artifacts along with a map of the 9 skies. Zhong Ziqi gritted his teeth. Li Xiandao saw that this was his limit and stopped forcing him, Okay, deal. 7 gave the contract to him and blinked at Li Xiandao, telling him that he did a good job. Sign it. Once you do, then I will help you wipe out the demon in your brain. Li Xiandao handed the contract over and said calmly. Zhong Ziaiqi looked at it carefully and he signed it after confirming that it wasn't bad for him. Settle this demon for me. I feel really panicky. This demon is in my brain and if he sees my secrets, I will have lost a lot. Zhong Ziaiqi said anxiously. Li Xiandao passed the contract to 7. He stood up and walked behind Zhong Ziaiqi. It is okay. Just close your eyes. Zhong Ziaiqi trembled and closed his eyes. Relax and just pretend you are sleeping. Once you wake up, everything will be fine. Li Xiandao said in a relaxed manner. I can't relax. Zhong Ziaiqi was super nervous. I am a professional. Trust me. Li Xiandao said confidently. You are professional at what? Zhong Ziaiqi asked carefully. I am a professional boss and a part-time, demon-killing expert. But that is okay. I will do it a few more times and get familiar with it. Li Xiandao said casually. Zhong Ziaiqi's heart was beating quickly out of fear. Li Xiandao saw that he couldn't relax and was very nervous. He frowned and pressed on his neck. Kaka. Zhong Ziaiqi fainted. Fortunately, Li Xiandao was helping him up and he didn't fall down. 7 saw that and said, Master, this deal is great. A demon that entered the Bank of the Universe in exchange for 2 celestial artifacts and 1 detailed map of the 9 skies. Li Xiandao took off his mask and smiled, I told you that I was going to be a cunning merchant. The demon entered the Bank of the Universe, so Li Xiandao had full control over it. It was so simple to grab it and then destroy it. But Zhong Ziaiqi didn't know this and was conned of 2 celestial artifacts and a map. Go and take a jade box over. Li Xiandao told 7. Take a jade box? It's better to wipe that demon out, casually crushing it. 7 said directly. In the Bank of the Universe, Li Xiandao could easily crush that demon. Since I am a merchant, I need to increase profits. This demon is strong and crushing it to death is such a waste. Why not keep it and question it? I would gain some other things that way. Li Xiandao said intelligently. 7 gave Li Xiandao a sweet smile, you are a decent merchant. She ran to get the jade box and passed it to Li Xiandao. Li Xiandao took it and grabbed Zhong Ziaiqi's head. A ball of demonic energy was snatched. It was still unconscious as the power of the Bank of the Universe totally suppressed it. It wouldn't wake up in a short time. Li Xiandao tossed it into the jade box and then closed it. He placed it on the table and wiped his hands. He put on his mask and flicked it. Zhong Ziaiqi slowly opened his eyes and looked at Li Xiandao. He asked in confusion, how long was I asleep for? 3 days. Li Xiandao said casually. The goal was to let Zhong Ziaiqi know that it was tough to save him and that his 2 celestial artifacts were worth it. In truth, it took a total of less than 3 minutes from start to finish. 3 days. Zhong Ziaiqi was shocked. I am a professional. Li Xiandao smiled confidently. Chapter 342, Jun Tian Rod. Zhong Ziaiqi looked closely at himself, especially at his brain, and in the end, he didn't notice any traces of the demon in him. Great, I am fine. Zhong Ziaiqi said emotionally. Li Xiandao looked at him calmly and once the excitement faded, he said, I have completed my promise. Where is your thing? Zhong Ziaiqi calmed down. He used his cultivation technique to heal his broken leg and then took out 2 celestial artifacts at the same time. There was a really rough iron rod and there were many holes and clash marks on it. It was as if it had been through several wars and the outer surface had become really broken. After the coral blue map was opened, the ocean surged. Contained within was a small-sized world. This was a support celestial artifact but there was heaps of space. There was an endless ocean where spiritual energy could be gathered, forming an aristocratic family's legacy treasure. Zhong Ziyi said reluctantly, "These two celestial artifacts were what I found from the ruins. They are really strong, and now in exchange for my life, it should be worth it." Although he said that, he still reluctantly handed the celestial artifact to Li Xiandao. Li Xiandao took two celestial artifacts. He looked at the iron rod and saw that there were two small words carved at the bottom. Junshin. This celestial artifact is the Junshin rod? Li Xiandao asked curiously. It must be. I got it over at Great Sky, so this name is quite ordinary. I think this celestial artifact came from an era long ago. It must have been crafted when the Nine Skies and Celestial World were in conflict. Zhong Ziyi nodded his head. So many years have passed and it can still be used? Li Xiandao asked. The seals inside are still there. Of course, it can be used. Zhong Ziyi said. Li Xiandao injected true qi into the celestial artifact and noticed that there were many seals inside. Although most of them were broken, there were many that could be used. Although it was old and broken, it was still a celestial artifact. Li Xiandao left two celestial artifacts. I am missing one more thing. Zhong Ziyi took out a rough map of 9 ski. This is unique. I drew this while crossing the 9 skies. It is more detailed than the other maps. Li Xiandao looked closely. It was indeed really detailed. Most of the regions were marked. Even the small areas were marked. Okay, I helped you solve your problem and you have paid the price. Now, you can leave. I hope that you can come and trade next time after you get more celestial artifacts. Li Xiandao waved his hand. Zhong Ziyi started to disappear from the bank of the universe. In the deep mountains, that broken monastery, a person appeared resting on the wall. Zhong Ziyi looked around and panted, I survived. How unbelievable, my body was nearly stolen from me. His legs were slowly recovering. Zhong Ziyi didn't hurry to stand up. He looked around and after confirming that there was no one around, he took out his little treasury. A celestial artifact. Mountain River Map. After opening the Mountain River Map, a golden light shone brightly within. All sorts of treasures were within and there was a bunch of celestial artifacts. I traded my life for the two weakest celestial artifacts. It was so worth it. Zhong Ziyi was pleased with his acting skills and that he wasn't cheated out of more celestial artifacts by Li Xiandao. I have traveled the 9 skies and been to so many treasure lands. How would I have only gotten 2 celestial artifacts? Zhong Ziyi smiled in delight. He dared to say that no one in the 9 skies had more celestial artifacts than him. It was perfectly fine to give Li Xiandao 2. I have to keep these celestial artifacts, and in the future, I need to collect one more red watch. If I face danger, then I can find the Bank of the Universe to save my life. Zhong Ziyi planned. He estimated that with the number of celestial artifacts he had, the Bank of the Universe could save him dozens of times. If Li Xiandao knew about this, he would have definitely regretted it as he was being too kind. Within the Bank of the Universe, Li Xiandao looked at the 2 celestial artifacts. Neither of them were suitable for him. Call the giant titan over. Li Xiandao said to 7. You are going to give the Junshin rod to the giant titan? 7 asked. Li Xiandao nodded, it suits him. A giant titan had immense strength that could even toss stars. A peak giant titan could carry a whole world, this was a really strong race. Junshin rod was a really heavy celestial artifact. Li Xiandao thought about all his subordinates. It seemed like he was the most suitable for it. 7 thought about it. That made sense, so she immediately contacted the giant titan. Then, what about the Coral Ocean map? 7 asked. Li Xiandao looked at the Coral Ocean map. This was a support treasure that wasn't that aggressive. Give it to Mr. Mule. He has the ability to search for treasures. This celestial artifact is really suitable for him. Li Xiandao said. Then, I will call him over. 7 asked. Call him to bring the gold family's Feng Longke too. She entered the Bank of the Universe a while ago now and I have never talked to her. Did Mr. Mule make her his pet or his wife? Li Xiandao asked. 7 shook his head, you can ask Mr. Mule later. I am not sure. Li Xiandao sat in the trading hall and moments later, a 3-meter tall body rushed over. He shouted, Master called for me. Li Xiandao didn't say anything. He reached out and the junction rod flew out. Explosion! Junction rod was really strong and it rumbled. It was really terrifying. The giant titan stared. His muscles swelled up and he reached out. Dong! The giant titan grabbed the junction rod in his hands and stabbed it into the ground. The entire trading hall gave out a deep sound. It was as if the hall had been smacked with the power of 10,000 worlds. Fortunately, the Bank of the Universe was extremely strong, otherwise, the hall would have been destroyed. Master, what is this? The giant titan grabbed the junction rod. Energy surged in his body and he said emotionally. Celestial artifact, junction rod. Li Xiandao looked at him and said calmly. For me. The giant titan looked at Li Xiandao in surprise. Right. Li Xiandao nodded his head. Thank you, Master. The giant titan teared up and knelt down right away. This celestial artifact seems ancient, I feel like there is history to it. Refine it well and in the future when I have the ability, I will help you repair the broken celestial seals within to return it to honor. Li Xiandao was satisfied with the giant titan's attitude and said gently. I will refine it. This celestial artifact is perfect for me. Smashing one stick and all enemies will have to die. There is nothing dazzling or special about it. It is just maximum power. The giant titan stood up and he was totally in love with the junction rod. Chapter 343, Request for Marriage. The giant titan got the junction rod and became really excited. He touched the junction rod and smiled brightly. Once Mr. Mule was here and stood at the entrance, he looked at the giant titan that was smiling like a fool and asked, Why are you so happy? Master just gave me a celestial artifact. Giant titan bragged about his junction rod. Celestial artifact. Mr. Mule focused his eyes. He heard that Li Xiandao would give celestial artifacts to his subordinates but had never actually seen it happen. He thought that he would never see it happen. Who knew that he would actually see it today? Feng Longke's eyes straightened and her heart was filled with shock. The master of the Bank of the Universe was actually so generous and actually gave celestial artifacts to her subordinates. Master called you and now I have a celestial artifact. Think about yourself. Giant Titan smiled and reminded Mr. Mule. Mr. Mule's eyes lit up. He was extremely emotional and shouted, Master, I am here. Within the trading hall, Li Xiandao heard Mr. Mule's voice. He frowned and said to 7, Did I choose the wrong person? 7 said helplessly, Someone seems interested in Feng Longke. You should just treat it as you giving your subordinate a huge gift. Mr. Mule happily ran over. He knelt down and shouted, Master, your most loyal subordinate, Mr. Mule, greets you. Feng Longke and Giant Titan followed behind. Giant Titan didn't mind. Instead, he felt that Mr. Mule's actions were quite ordinary. Feng Longke felt like she had lost face. She instantly reacted. Mr. Mule lost face. What did that have to do with her? Get up, this is for you. Li Xiandao tossed the Coral Ocean map to Mr. Mule. Li Xiandao was really generous when he gave his subordinate things. Anyway, they were serving him and he couldn't use it either. Why not just increase their combat strength? Thank you, Master. Thank you, Master. Mr. Mule kowtowed emotionally. He hugged the Coral Ocean map and sensed the strength of celestial artifact. He pulled Feng Longke to kneel down to thank Li Xiandao. Feng Longke was at a total loss. What did this have to do with her? Li Xiandao looked at her in silence. He asked, "Why are you making her thank me?" Feng Longke stared at Mr. Mule and shouted, "Why are you making me thank him? Aren't you a part of my family?" Mr. Mule asked. "Did I agree?" Feng Longke said coldly. "Then, do you agree?" Mr. Mule wasn't angry and asked. "I don't." Feng Longke wanted to say it. "This is for you. Think about it." Mr. Mule pushed the Coral Ocean map into Feng Longke's arms. Feng Longke didn't know what to say. This was a celestial artifact. If she had this celestial artifact, didn't that mean that she could kill Mr. Mule? Using Mr. Mule's celestial artifact to kill Mr. Mule. Feng Longke felt like she could fake it and spend some time with him. "My treasure, my artifact, anything can be given to my wife. Are you willing to be my wife?" Mr. Mule asked. "You are a mule and I am a human. Although I have monster race blood, I am still human." Feng Longke was a little annoyed. "It is okay, I have a technique for a monster to become a human. As long as you agree to marry Mr. Mule, I can make a decision for your marriage and turn Mr. Mule into a human." Li Xiandao added. Mr. Mule said in a serious tone, "My master really treats me well. He gave me a celestial artifact and he wants to make you marry me. I swear that I will treat you well." Feng Longke kept silent. In her mind, she was planning how to escape the current situation. "You are already 10,000 years old while I am only a few dozen years old." Feng Longke said unwillingly. "Although I am over 10,000 years old, I am new at this. Don't worry, I am very clean." Mr. Mule said softly. "Still a newbie after 10,000 years." Feng Longke was shocked. Li Xiandao was unhappy. "What? Are you looking down on virgins?" If Li Xiandao counted the time he spent in the time hall, he would be close to 2,000 years old. He was also a virgin. "No, I need to think about it. This is such a huge thing and I need to inform my family elders." Feng Longke had an idea and tried to delay time. "Your gold family elders all died on their trip to Heaven Mountain." Li Xiandao said calmly. "What about my father?" Feng Longke's expression changed and she stared at Li Xiandao in rage. "Your father came the first time but not the second. Don't be rude to master." Mr. Mule was really solemn. Feng Longke heaved a sigh of relief. It was good that he didn't come, she was more at ease that his father wasn't dead. As for the other seniors, Feng Longke didn't care. "If you want to marry me, you need to return to the Gold family and inform my parents. If they agree, it will be official. Don't think that I will accept it privately." Feng Longke thought of an idea to drag out time and also head out of the Bank of the Universe. Mr. Mule thought about it and said, "You are right, I should talk to my in-laws." "Master, can I bring Feng Longke to the Gold family to ask for her hand in marriage?" Mr. Mule asked Li Xiandao and begged. He had been single for 10,000 years and hadn't even touched a female mule. Mr. Mule felt that being single was good, but after taking Feng Longke as his pet, he was interested and wanted to marry her. Li Xiandao nodded his head, "Of course, you are my subordinate, and as your elder, the bank will send a huge gift. Bring this to the Gold family to ask for her hand in marriage." Mr. Mule was touched. "Thank you, master." "Thank you, master." To Mr. Mule, his biggest gain now wasn't a celestial artifact but the fact that Feng Longke agreed to let him head to the Gold family to ask for her hand in marriage. "Don't be happy too early, my parents might not agree." Feng Longke was shocked. "Don't worry. If your parents don't agree, then my subordinate won't disturb you. If they don't agree, Mr. Mule will return right away and you will be free." Li Xiandao agreed without any hesitation. "Really?" Feng Longke looked at Li Xiandao in shock, and at that moment he realized that Li Xiandao was a good master. He was reasonable and knew how to treat his subordinates. Li Xiandao smiled. He felt that Feng Longke was really ignorant. The god family elders were wiped out on Heaven Mountain and they knew about his cultivation. When Mr. Mule headed over, his parents would definitely agree. Go. Mr. Mule, go find a form transformation technique at 10,000 Country Book Depository. When the time comes, I will tell Tian Guangming and Feng Zhuo to send you over. Li Xiandao waved his hands. Chapter 344, Flood Dragon Leaving. Mr. Mule and the others walked out of the trading hall and went their separate ways. The giant titan grabbed the junction rod and headed back to refine this celestial artifact into his own artifact. After he activated it, he could use the rod to smash the 9 skies. Mr. Mule headed to 10,000 Country Book Depository. Li Xiandao allowed him to find a transformation technique. He didn't think about it in the past and he always thought that it was good to stay as a mule. But since he was going to Gold family to ask them for her hand in marriage, Mr. Mule felt like it was better to turn into a human. Feng Longke silently followed Mr. Mule. She held the Coral Ocean map. When Mr. Mule was about to leave, he said, "You can take the celestial artifact." Mr. Mule was stunned. "It is for you." Feng Longke said impatiently, "We are not engaged yet. This celestial artifact is too precious. I can't take it." Mr. Mule smiled, "Anyway, I am going to head to your family to ask for you to marry me. Just refine this celestial artifact first and treat it as my gift to you." After saying that, Mr. Mule didn't even turn his head and just headed for the 10,000 Country Book Depository. Feng Longke looked at Mr. Mule's back view and scoffed, "If you want me to marry you, then keep dreaming. The Gold family will not agree because of their honor and my parents won't agree either." After Feng Longke got Li Xiandao's promise, she felt like she couldn't kill Mr. Mule to anger Li Xiandao. This was why her goal was to head back to the Gold family and let her parents object to the marriage. Once that happened, she would be free. Li Xiandao was the master of Bank of the Universe and would keep his promise, which was why she didn't need to take Mr. Mule's celestial artifact in case she needed to return it awkwardly after her parents objected to the marriage. But Mr. Mule didn't agree, which made Feng Longke helpless. She could only keep it and return to her room to cultivate. The spiritual energy in the Bank of the Universe was quite heavy and much thicker than the outside world. As such, it was much quicker for one to cultivate here. Mr. Mule started to cultivate the form transformation technique in the 10,000 Country Book Depository. With his current cultivation, he was extremely ordinary and he familiarized himself with it after seeing it once. After trying it a few times, he totally grasped it. A few minutes later, Mr. Mule turned into a young man. His skin was white and his hair was black and curly. His 5 features were clean and the only giveaway was his eyes. He had a pair of peach-shaped eyes. But after changing, Mr. Mule was quite satisfied. He wore a pink outer coat and along with his curly hair and peach eyes, he looked extremely handsome. Mr. Mule was satisfied with his looks and constantly looked at the mirror before leaving. "Mr. Mule looks so flirty," Chu Bai muttered from a corner of the 10,000 Country Book Depository. "I think so too." The curly hair and peach eyes were already quite flirty, but now he even wears a pink shirt. Northern Region Lord said, "I heard that he is heading to the Gold family to ask for marriage." Chu Bai gossiped. "Who told you that?" Northern Region Lord asked curiously. "Tian Guangming told all of us. Master told him to head to the Gold family along with Feng Zhuo to protect them." Chu Bai said helplessly. "This is a good thing. Who knows when I can get married?" Northern Region Lord said regretfully. He had never treated his marriage as a marriage. Chu Bai acted like she didn't hear it. Her face turned slightly red and she didn't reply to Northern Region Lord. After Mr. Mule turned into a human, he came to say goodbye to Li Xiandao. "Master, I am prepared to set off." Mr. Mule knelt down in front of Li Xiandao and said, "Rise. This time, apart from asking for marriage, there is another thing I need all of you to do." Li Xiandao said calmly. Mr. Mule said right away, Master, please instruct. I will go all out and do it even if my brain and organs end up all over the ground. 7 took several contracts over and said, there is no need for that. There are 4 contracts here. They are some debts of the Bank of the Universe in Cold Moon Sky. They all broke the contract and are around the Gold family's region. The Gold family also has a contract, so once the marriage requesting is done, go handle all these contracts. Mr. Mule took it and said firmly, Master and 7, don't worry. I will solve the contracts. This time, Tian Guangming and Feng Zhuo will head out together with you. They are unhappy with one another and have conflicts, so I will give the contracts to you. I hope that you can lead them, so don't disappoint me. Li Xiandao instructed Mr. Mule. Master, don't worry. I will handle this matter well. Mr. Mule ensured. At 7 and I prepared a big gift. Bring it over to ask for marriage. Li Xiandao was satisfied. 7 passed a storage bracelet to Mr. Mule. Mr. Mule took it and was instantly shocked. He said, Master, this is too precious. Mr. Mule looked at the space in the jade pendant. There were 1000 spiritual energy dragon veins within it. Take these over to ask for her hand in marriage. To anyone, all of these material items were just luxuries. Feng Longke was one of the Gold family's 3 flowers. Unless she spent her whole life cultivating and didn't get married, she wouldn't leave any descendants. No faction would be able to take out 1000 top-quality spiritual energy dragon veins for Feng Longke. Okay, if you two succeed, that would be a joyous matter for the Bank of the Universe. Since I took over the Bank of the Universe, nothing good has happened here. You two are the first and is a great start. 1000 spiritual energy dragon veins isn't much. Li Xiandao waved his hands to tell Mr. Mule to stop talking and to just follow his instructions. Li Xiandao, who had taken over Heaven Mountain, started to become much more generous. Mr. Mule was so touched that he knelt down on both knees and kowtowed to Li Xiandao. His eyes flashed red, Master, Mr. Mule will not forget your kindness towards me. I will never leave you in my life. Li Xiandao smiled, okay, head out. You are my subordinate and your life is mine. Naturally, I will be responsible for all of you. Mr. Mule nodded and said goodbye to Li Xiandao. He took the gift and the contracts and headed out. 30 seconds after Mr. Mule left, the flood dragon was here. The dragon was totally different now. His horns stood upright and the scale armor didn't look as ugly as in the past. The scales turned into dragon scales and the claws looked more like dragon claws. After he got the blood pearl, his bloodline was being constantly purified. With Li Xiandao's dragon tooth rice, the flood dragon's bloodline purification hadn't stopped. After these few days of work, the flood dragon reached an unprecedented peak. He begged Li Xiandao to head out to do something important. Master, I want to leave the Bank of the Universe for a period of time. Flood dragon flew in and turned into a human. He was a cold teen covered in scale armor. He knelt down on one knee and lowered his head. Chapter 345, Jumping Through the Dragon Gate. Li Xiandao looked towards the flood dragon with a weird expression, you can change your form. Li Xiandao hadn't seen the flood dragon change his form in the past. He usually just used his meaty main body. Now that he had seen him change his form, Li Xiandao was shocked. Master, I was unable to do so because my bloodline purity was too low. During this period of time, I used the bloodline pearl to purify it. Now, I have improved a lot and removed the impure bloodline. The flood dragon explained. Li Xiandao understood and then asked, why are you heading out? The flood dragon kept silent for a moment and then said, I am jumping through the dragon gate. Li Xiandao asked curiously, jumping the dragon gate? Right. The flood dragon raised his head and said firmly. You are from the flood dragon bloodline, so what is the use of that? Li Xiandao didn't understand. In the wide main hall, Li Xiandao stood with his arms behind his back. In front of him, the flood dragon knelt down on one knee and lowered his head. I am not a flood dragon. Li Xiandao looked at him and asked curiously, it seems like you have a story. Tell it to me. The flood dragon reminisced and gritted his teeth, I am not a flood dragon. My father is one of the 8 top chiefs and I am his direct child, a pure descendant of the dragon race. Then, how did you end up in the 10 lands? Li Xiandao asked. Now, he was interested in the flood dragon's past. The flood dragon didn't look like he was a direct descendant of the dragon race at all. At that time in the 10 lands, he looked like a normal flood dragon. Li Xiandao didn't expect his past to be so amazing. He changed right after entering the 9 skies and became a descendant of the dragon race's direct bloodline. The flood dragon lowered his head and gritted his teeth, someone smacked me down. Li Xiandao looked at him. That was interesting. My father is one of the 8 chiefs of the dragon race and I was his 10th child. I got his direct bloodline but my mother wasn't from the dragon race. The flood dragon looked at Li Xiandao with a bitter expression and told him everything. Li Xiandao stood there silently and listened. Li Xiandao was quite happy that the flood dragon was telling him these things. As the master of the Bank of the Universe, the subordinates could tell him anything and he would help them solve things that he could. After solving your problems, you will work hard for me. Li Xiandao firmly believed that a subordinate with no worries would work the hardest and be the most loyal. This was why he wanted the flood dragon to continue. My mother is the monster race's 7-colored heaven-swallowing serpent. Flood dragon said with a gentle tone. A heaven-swallowing serpent and the dragon race chief gave birth to me. I have the direct bloodline but most of it is hidden which is why I look like a weird flood dragon. The flood dragon said bitterly. Li Xiandao understood, because of that your father chased you out of the 9 skies. He chased me out but my 9 brothers forced me down to the 10 lands such that I would never have a way back. The flood dragon's face was ice cold and he gritted his teeth. Li Xiandao reached out, stand up first and we can talk about this slowly. Understood. The flood dragon respectfully stood up behind Li Xiandao. Li Xiandao walked out of the trading hall while the flood dragon followed. Then, after you got thrown into the 10 lands you didn't think about entering the 9 skies? Li Xiandao asked. After stepping out of the hall. The sunlight outside was bright and the scenery was fantastic. It filled Li Xiandao with warmth. The flood dragon sighed, of course, I did. When I was smacked down to the 10 lands I was on my dying breaths. Boss Demon Frog and Mr. Mule saved me. From then on I followed the 2 of them, slowly cultivating and improving myself. Then, I met the other brothers and during this period I have been wanting to activate the hidden bloodline but I failed. Demon Frog and Mr. Mule know about these things. Li Xiandao walked onto the square. He looked at the rising sun and asked firmly. Flood Dragon stood behind Li Xiandao and shook his head, they don't know. I didn't tell anyone. Moreover, the dragon race is too strong and this has nothing to do with them. I don't want them dragged in and hurt. Li Xiandao smiled, so, why are you heading to jump through the dragon gate? Li Xiandao knew about it but that was just limited to legends. The dragon gate was above the ocean and numerous beings with dragon blood tried to jump across it. When that happened, their bloodline would be activated and its purity would be greatly increased. After all, those were just legends of a long foregone era. Li Xiandao didn't see many stories about this in the 10,000 country book depository. Flood Dragon's eyes lit up, my mother told me about this once. Li Xiandao listened. Mother said that 10,000 years ago a dragon gate rose up in cold moon skies endless oceans. Numerous dragon race bloodline beings would come here and try jump every 10,000 years. Flood Dragon said. This dragon gate is set to appear once every 10,000 years. Li Xiandao asked. No, the location is not fixed and neither is the time. The Flood Dragon shook his head. The last time it appeared was 30,000 years ago. At that time, my father crossed the first layer and became the chief. The news my mother told me is probably from him. My father chased me out and the last thing he told me was not to return unless I awakened my bloodline. The flood dragon said coldly. If you awaken it, then are you heading back to the dragon race? Li Xiandao asked calmly. Master, I called you master, so I will do so for the rest of my life. I want to awaken it only to prove that my bloodline is pure. I also want to serve master better. The flood dragon knelt down on both knees and said firmly. Stand up, I definitely believe you. Li Xiandao told him to stand up. The flood dragon got up. I just want to try leaping across and becoming a real dragon to help master sweep all enemies. Li Xiandao asked, is this dragon gate tough? Very. The flood dragon nodded. It is split into 9 layers and they are extremely huge. Each layer is more terrifying than the last and no matter who it was, you would only have one chance in your life. If you didn't head in with ample preparation, you would be wasting the chance. You will head to the ocean to search for it. Li Xiandao asked. Right, it is not far from the time that my mother told me, there is only 1 month left. I have to search for it. The flood dragon nodded. Okay, I shall allow you to go. Li Xiandao agreed. Thank you, master. Thank you, master. Flood dragon said gratefully. Remember to protect yourself. Li Xiandao instructed. Chapter 346, Daughter-in-law and Father-in-law. Flood dragon left to search for the dragon gate. Li Xiandao left a mark on him, so he could pay attention to him at any moment. When it was appropriate, he would try to help him. After all, he was his master. The flood dragon wasn't a solo cultivator who needed to cultivate alone. Since he recognized Li Xiandao as his master, then as the master, he had to be responsible for his subordinates. He had to raise his strength so that they could serve him, which would kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Li Xiandao was paying attention to the flood dragon. On the other side, Mr. Mule, Feng Zhuo, and Tian Guangming had set off. Li Xiandao didn't pay attention to this bunch because he knew that Mr. Mule's trip was perfectly safe. As for Tian Guangming, he felt really uneasy as he was going out with Feng Zhuo to protect Mr. Mule. He felt really anxious for no reason. After all, Feng Zhuo had just beaten him up badly and Tian Guangming remembered it all, which was why he pulled his disciple along with him. Li Wuya was pulled by his master and he had to go. He passed his sister over to La Mo and followed his master to protect Mr. Mule. With the disciple by his side, Tian Guangming was confident. Now, when he looked at Feng Zhuo, he wasn't afraid anymore. Feng Zhuo looked at Tian Guangming and smiled in disdain. She couldn't be bothered with him. Disciple, does this woman look down on me? Tian Guangming had such a bad temper, so how could he accept that? It seems like it. Li Wuya said helplessly. Then, let's work together to beat this woman up. Your master was beaten up badly by her before. Tian Guangming suggested. Li Wuya asked his master, this time you called me along because you planned on attacking her together. Tian Guangming nodded his head, of course. I will always take revenge. This woman beat me up until I nearly died. I have to take revenge. Master, this time Master Li gave us this mission. Li Wuya said helplessly. Tian Guangming was stunned. Since this matter affected Li Xiandao, he didn't dare to do whatever he wanted. Moreover, this woman doesn't have a strong ability to recover like you. If we join hands and beat her up badly, it will take a long time for her to recover and Master will definitely be angry. Worse still, Master might even take your celestial artifact. Li Wuya reminded Tian Guangming. You are right. Tian Guangming sucked in a deep cold breath. This was something he hadn't thought about. If Li Xiandao got mad and took back the celestial artifact, he wouldn't even have time to regret it. Then, let's let this girl go. Tian Guangming said regretfully. At that moment, Feng Zhuo swept her eyes toward Tian Guangming. Tian Guangming was terrified of her. Coward! Feng Zhuo muttered. Although she muttered to herself, everyone present heard it. Tian Guangming was angry, he wanted to attack her. Think about your celestial artifact. Li Wei pulled Tian Guangming and said softly. Tian Guangming was furious, this mission is important, so I won't lower myself to your level. Next time, I will totally show you how amazing I am. Feng Zhuo smiled in disdain and didn't say anything. She provoked Tian Guangming and he looked like he was about to explode. Mr. Mule and Feng Zhuo watched the show all the way through. The two of them were the protagonists this time, but along the way, it was Feng Zhuo and Tian Guangming who were bickering. We are about to reach the gold family, so stop quarreling. This concerns my life's happiness. If you mess it up, I will hate you for the rest of my life. Mr. Mule warned. Don't worry brother, I will definitely settle it for you. Tian Guangming said confidently. Don't worry, with my understanding of the gold family chief, there is no problem regarding this matter at all. Feng Zhuo said calmly. Mr. Mule heard this and smiled. With his pink shirt along and peach eyes, he looked very handsome and seemed very flirtatious. Like the rising sun shining on flower petals, the essence shone onto the petal and a bit was left on the outside. Feng Zhuo wasn't happy. She was using this whole marriage to leave the Bank of the Universe. She just needed her father to reject Mr. Mule and she could leave him. Feng Zhuo's words annoyed her. Do you know my father? How do you know that he would agree? Feng Longke questioned. Feng Zhuo's lips curled and she said very coolly, whether or not you believe it is up to you. If you don't, then let's make a bet. What should we bet? Feng Longke said unhappily. We bet that your father, the chief of the gold family, will allow Mr. Mule to be your husband. Feng Zhuo smiled confidently. What should we wager? Feng Longke was confident too and didn't want to lose. In front of this person from the same race, Feng Longke didn't want to lose. Although her cultivation was lower, she was just too confident. The person who loses has to respectfully acknowledge the other big sister when she sees her. Feng Zhuo grinned and said. Just that. Feng Longke was stunned and didn't expect this to be the wager. But thinking about it, Feng Zhuo tried her best to suppress her in all areas. If she lost and had to call her big sister, Feng Longke would feel really bad. She was jealous of her in the past and now she had to call her big sister? No, I have not lost yet. Feng Longke woke up and looked firmly at Feng Zhuo. Deal. Feng Zhuo said calmly, don't worry, you will call me big sister soon. Scoff, my father loves me, I can chase cultivation and not marry anyone. I can choose to just serve the gold family for my future. Feng Longke said firmly. There is no point in talking so much, we are about to arrive there. Let's just hand the invitation over first. Feng Zhuo didn't want to argue with Feng Longke. Instead, she took out Li Xiandao's invitation. Mr. Mule was Li Xiandao's subordinate and since he came over to ask for her hand in marriage, he obviously did so in Li Xiandao's name. He couldn't use his own name to write it on the invitation. Hong. Li Xiandao's invitation wasn't special, it was just a streak of sword energy that could be held in the hand. Once the sword energy invitation was sent out, many terrifying auras instantly rose up. All the gold family experts sensed Li Xiandao's invitation and woke up. They were all really solemn. Hong! 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 Many terrifying auras swept the sky. This whole giant mountain range was the gold family's territory and there were many seniors and elders hidden within. Now, all of them walked out along with the gold family chief. Mr. Mule and the others waited at the entrance of the mountain range but they didn't enter. After all, they were greeting them and also had Li Xiandao's invitation, so they couldn't disrespect Li Xiandao. Ha ha ha, a happy magpie was chirping in the morning and I knew that something good was going to happen. As expected, my son-in-law is here to ask for marriage. A loud laughter spread forth first before the person arrived. This laughter delighted Mr. Mule. He was a son-in-law just like that? Feng Longkei's body went soft and she nearly collapsed. It was as if she had been struck by lightning and she looked at her father in disbelief. Feng Zhuo was not surprised and said calmly, "Call me big sister." Feng Longkei felt like she had been stabbed in the heart with a sword. "Father-in-law!" In the next second, Mr. Mule shouted and caused Feng Longkei to black out. Chapter 347, Dragon Crocodile. When Feng Longkei woke up, she was already inside the Gold family. There was only one other girl in her room. Feng Longkei's mother. "Mother!" Feng Longkei shouted and ran into her arms. She suspected that what happened before was a dream and that the dream was too terrifying. "You are already a girl who is about to be married, so why are you acting cute?" Her mother's words caused her body to freeze. What happened before was real and it wasn't a dream. Marry. This was the worst news for Feng Longkei. She looked at her own mother in disbelief. "My daughter is growing and she is going to get married. I have seen the son-in-law. He is really good and very warm. He called me mother-in-law right after he saw me. Moreover, his background is well respected and he is worthy of our family." Your father and all the elders agreed. They even set a date 3 months from now to help the two of you complete the marriage. Mother smiled. Feng Longkei's heart sunk to the bottom of her stomach. "Can I go against it?" Feng Longkei asked. "What are you saying? Your father accepted the gift, 1000 top-quality spiritual energy dragon veins. He is also preparing a dowry for you. Just wait peacefully to become a bride." Mother found what she said quite weird. At that moment, Feng Longkei gave up. The door was pushed open and Mr. Mule walked in. "Mother-in-law, I am here to see whether Longkei has woken up." Mr. Mule put on a wide smile and shouted warmly. "She just woke up. The two of you can talk while I will head out first." Feng Longkei's mother was really happy. She liked this warm son-in-law the more she saw him. When she left she closed the door in case people saw things that they shouldn't see. Feng Longkei's mother was young once, and of course, she knew what the youth did. Mr. Mule and Feng Longkei didn't plan on doing such a thing at all. Feng Longkei sat on the bed and her face dimmed. In this era, parents' instructions and family decisions couldn't be disrespected. Mr. Mule looked calmly at Feng Longkei and didn't know how to console her. "Can you promise me something?" After Feng Longkei kept silent for 10 minutes, she opened her mouth. "What?" Mr. Mule's eyes lit up. It was good that she was willing to communicate with him. "After you marry me, you aren't allowed to have concubines and raise other women." Feng Longkei stared coldly at Mr. Mule. She couldn't object to her parents and family. Since that was the case, Feng Longkei started to restrict Mr. Mule. She wouldn't nitpick. Since things couldn't be changed, then she just had to do what she could do to the best of her ability. "Okay, I will be pure." Mr. Mule was delighted. "After marrying, I will decide family matters and you decide outsider matters." Feng Longkei continued. "No worries, I only serve master and don't have anything outside." Mr. Mule nodded. Feng Longkei saw him agree and heaved a sigh of relief. Although he was a mule and although there were grievances between them, it seemed like he was a good choice for a husband. After Feng Longkei accepted her fate, she noticed Mr. Mule's strengths for the first time. Slowly, the resistance in her heart faded away. "Wife, can I hug you?" Mr. Mule's face turned red. Feng Longkei felt shy and she looked at his fervent and passionate gaze before scolding him. "We are only getting married in 3 months, so what is the rush?" Mr. Mule muttered, "I will just wait 3 months then." Flood Dragon flew out of the bank of the universe towards the endless ocean. On cold moon sky, the ocean factions were huge too. Numerous beasts lived underwater and there were many islands offshore. Some islands were so huge like entire continents. There were many people there and they developed their own cultures and cultivation paths. On the endless ocean, the flood dragon headed towards the bottom of the ocean and transformed into his main body. In truth, the 100-foot flood dragon had totally gotten rid of his impure bloodline and only dragon blood was left. There were also many hidden veins and if they were opened, the flood dragon could return to how he should have looked. He currently had strong scaly armor that was like cold iron. His claws were really sharp and he was really muscular. He roamed the ocean and flew extremely quickly. The flood dragon's improvement was visible. He was also filled with confidence now. Under Master's leadership, he would be able to return to what he was supposed to look like. My mother is the heaven-swallowing serpent and my father is a true dragon. They are both top bloodlines, so how can I be a mixed bloodline flood dragon? Flood dragon was furious. He was furious with himself, with the dragon race, with his father, and his 9 brothers. Just because he had many hidden veins his father chased him out of the dragon race. The other 9 brothers suppressed him together. The flood dragon would definitely take revenge for this in the future. The ocean was endless and he didn't know where the dragon gate was. But because it was just a month away, the ocean was not calm anymore. Just as the flood dragon was flying quickly at the bottom of the ocean, he saw many others like him. They were people with dragon race bloodline but they weren't pure. They came here to try to jump across the dragon gate. The flood dragon traveled in the ocean, going deep as he headed in a particular direction. No one knew where the dragon gate was. But the flood dragon heard his mother say that the location of the dragon gate had been deduced by the dragon race 10,000 years ago. The rough area wouldn't be wrong. But it was within a 10,000 mile range. In the ocean, 10,000 miles was a short distance for the boundless realm flood dragon. This was why he headed right for that ocean region and turned into his human form. This region wasn't as calm as the flood dragon thought. Instead, there were many dragon race bloodline descendants. Dragons were lustful. Out of all the sorts of dragon bloodlines, the worst one was actually a lizard that he had seen. It was a descendant of a lizard and a dragon. It could even do that. Respect, respect. Flood dragon respected people in the dragon race with such heavy tastes. Brother, which world did you come from? A voice spread from the ocean surface. Flood dragon was stunned and lowered his head to see a dragon crocodile. Its 1,000-foot body looked really huge and his aura was enormous and terrifying. It was a cross between an ancient crocodile and a dragon. I am from Cold Moon Sky. Where are you from? Flood dragon asked. I am from Great Sky. The dragon crocodile asked. Most of the people here came from the 9 skies so as to cross the dragon gate. The dragon crocodile opened his mouth and said. Chapter 348, Xiaolong and Yefeng. Flood dragon stood on the ocean surface and started to communicate with the dragon crocodile. How long have you been in Cold Moon Sky? Flood dragon asked. A year. I have been here for a year and spent my time exploring the ocean. Although Cold Moon Sky is similar to other worlds, I feel that there are no true experts here. The dragon crocodile said. Cold Moon Sky is one of the weakest in the 9 skies and is only better than Hell Sky. For it to have so many experts is already not bad. Flood dragon said. Right, anyway, the moment one reaches a certain realm, one will think about heading to the big worlds. In the end, they will just move to the top few worlds. Dragon crocodile nodded his head and his body shook. He surrounded the flood dragon and looked on in envy. What kind of form transformation technique did you cultivate? The dragon crocodile asked. I didn't cultivate anything. Once my bloodline reaches a certain thickness, I can transform naturally. Flood dragon said. Then, your bloodline must be higher than mine. I tried to transform for many years but to no avail. The dragon crocodile said regretfully. The dragon crocodile could cultivate body transformation techniques, but he couldn't transform. This was because he had dragon race blood. Mr. Mule was okay as he had no bloodline and was just a normal mule. He was accidentally on the path of cultivation and used his own skill to search for treasures. Only then did he reach his current level and was about to marry Feng Longke. One could say that Mr. Mule relied on his own hard work to reach the peak of his mule life and marry such a beauty. Dragon crocodile and flood dragon couldn't do that because of their bloodlines unless their bloodlines reached a certain density. The flood dragon was also relying on the blood vein pearl that Xiandao gave him. Dragon crocodile didn't have that, and it was tough since he could only rely on himself. "Right, brother, you found this place yourself?" The dragon crocodile asked softly. "What do you mean?" The flood dragon didn't understand. "This ocean region." Dragon crocodile asked softly. "Oh, I understand." Flood dragon understood that this ocean region referred to where the dragon gate was. "I've received some news." Flood dragon replied quickly. "Brother, how many spiritual energy dragon veins did you use?" Dragon crocodile continued to ask. Flood dragon was stunned. "You could buy them?" "A relative told me." "Why? Can you buy them?" Flood dragon asked with a weird expression. "Your relative treated you so well." In other worlds, the various dragon race disciples are selling information. "I bought it from Long Yunan in exchange for 1000 spiritual energy dragon veins." Dragon crocodile's heart hurt. Long Yunan. Flood dragon's eyes shrunk. "Right, Long Yunan, direct dragon descendant. He's a really greedy dragon." The dragon crocodile was really unhappy. "He is really greedy." Flood dragon smiled coldly. "I just went to ask for the price and he said 1000 right away. I didn't want to pay, and actually I could have paid 500 at other places. But he said that I would be teasing him if I asked and didn't pay. So, he forced me to pay." Dragon crocodile was really unhappy. "An old trick. Such methods are pretty standard." Flood dragon said in disdain. "Why, brother? Have you suffered in his hands before?" Dragon crocodile asked. "Yes, a long time ago I was badly conned. I will never forget it for the rest of my life." Flood dragon nodded and gritted his teeth. Long Yunan, Flood dragon's 9th brother, the one who led those who banished him to the 10 lands, was really greedy and loved riches. He would do anything for money. Long Yunan's had an extremely bad reputation. "Hais, it seems like we are the same. I will definitely leap across it and awaken the bloodline. When it happens, I will crush those greedy and perverted dragons." Dragon crocodile said firmly. "How many hidden veins do you have?" Flood dragon asked. "I can't count the hidden veins." Dragon crocodile said honestly. "That is good. The more there are, once you leap over, the chances of transforming increase. When the time comes you will be unstoppable." Flood dragon explained. "What about you, brother?" Dragon crocodile asked in delight. "Mine can't be counted either." Flood dragon smiled. Indeed, his could not be counted. They were like stars in the sky. They were all weaved together and really dense. If he cultivated by himself, he wouldn't have been able to activate them. He had to use the power of the Dragon Gate. "Since we are the same, should we be friends?" Dragon Crocodile invited. "Sure, do you mind me landing on your body?" Flood Dragon asked. "That's okay." Dragon Crocodile didn't care. Flood Dragon landed on the Dragon Crocodile's back and sat cross-legged. He started to talk to him as he looked around. Hong! The waves rippled and water splattered everywhere. A huge, pitch-black, flood dragon emerged. It looked extremely enormous, and when it fought, it was definitely very cumbersome. "Brother, that one isn't as strong as you. It can't transform." Dragon Crocodile said. Flood Dragon thought about it and said, "Let's head to that unnamed island." Once we occupy it, we can observe the surrounding area. Explosion. The dragon crocodile's huge body shook and waves splattered. Along with the flood dragon, he flew towards the small island. Coincidentally, the black flood dragon also wanted to occupy it. Facing the dragon crocodile, he angrily smashed his tail into the water. Explosion. The water surged. He was warning the dragon crocodile not to come over. But could the dragon crocodile and flood dragon allow him to do that? Scram! The dragon crocodile hollered in rage. His voice was like thunder as he slashed the waves. Then, he struck the black flood dragon. Pang! He struck its thick body and it raged, "I will rip you apart." What it saw next was a terrifying mouth. Barbaric biting and ripping. Dragon crocodile's teeth were sharp and crushed through the black flood dragon's armor. He bit its tail and swung it. The black flood dragon flew and smashed into the surface of the ocean. It was nearly ripped apart and it felt so much pain that it wanted to die. Scram! The dragon crocodile hollered arrogantly. He stood on the small island. The primitive giant crocodile looked fierce and ferocious. It was extremely terrifying. The black flood dragon stared at the dragon crocodile and then headed back to the bottom of the ocean to flee. "You dare to fight for territory with me, you are asking to die," the dragon crocodile said in an overbearing manner. The flood dragon praised, "Even if you bit a true dragon, it wouldn't be able to handle it." "That's right, that is my special skill." "Oh right, what is your name?" Dragon crocodile asked. Flood dragon was stunned. What was his name? Since he left the dragon race, his name had never been mentioned. He always called himself Flood Dragon. Name. Flood Dragon thought about it and said, "My name is Xiandao." Dragon Crocodile laughed out loud, "Brother, you are really ambitious. The ancestor dragon is supreme. I do have high hopes for you." The Flood Dragon changed his own name and smiled, "Right, no matter what we do, we must have a dream. My name is Xiandao." "That's nice, my name is Yefeng." The huge dragon crocodile gave himself a nice name. Chapter 349, Dragon Valley. Xiandao and Yefeng chased the black flood dragon away and settled on the small island to wait for an opportunity. Xiandao turned into a human and cultivated every day. He absorbed spiritual energy into his body and then refined it to strengthen his body. Yefeng didn't stop either. His cultivation method was special. He didn't take the essence of the sun and moon. Instead, he summoned lightning. He would then charge in to wash its body. Yefeng's body was 1,000 feet long, but he wasn't meaty like the black flood dragon. The dragon crocodile's body was really tough. People of the same grade could forget about breaking his body apart. Even people of higher cultivation wouldn't be able to do so easily. He used lightning to refine himself and normal people would avoid him. However, he was willing to enter the lightning to train himself. He seemed really relaxed, like how ordinary people took baths. The lightning washed the impurities in his body and all that was left was the essence. This huge dragon crocodile and Xiandao were the same. They just lacked on step, which was leaping through the dragon gate. Once they jumped across and activated their hidden veins, no one would know how terrifying it would be. During this period of time, the two of them communicated and would often have fights. Of course, they fought with their main bodies. A red flood dragon and a mountain dragon crocodile fought head to head. As they fought, the two of them got closer. Their personalities were really direct and weren't nitpicky. They had a good relationship with one another. Within the Gold family, Mr. Mule was making a move. With his marriage settled and due to be finalized in 3 months, Feng Longke also agreed to marry him. Mr. Mule was satisfied and handed over the gifts. Once the time arrived, he would marry her, which was why he spent all his effort on Li Xiandao's matter. When he came, Li Xiandao passed him 4 contracts. These 4 were people who broke their contracts. Mr. Mule, Tian Guangming, and Feng Zhuo were in charge of collecting them. Thus, Mr. Mule gathered all of them. In Mr. Mule's courtyard, Tian Guangming, Li Weia, and Feng Zhuo were all here. When we left, Master gave me 4 contracts. These 4 were of people who broke it and didn't repay anything. They owe the Bank of the Universe and Master wants us to end these contracts. Mr. Mule said. When the 3 of them heard this, their expressions became solemn. They didn't dare to delay Li Xiandao's matter and they took a look at the contract. Of the 4 contracts, one of them was from one of the gold dragons in the gold family. Mr. Mule said, "Let me handle this contract. After all, I am the gold family's son-in-law." The gold dragon race and the phoenix race merged to form the gold family. Mr. Mule went directly to get the contract settled. Then, "This one that is the furthest away is mine." Li Weia opened his mouth and took the one that was furthest away. 000 miles away in a spirit mountain vein, there was a temple and in it, someone had gone against the contract. For the 2 remaining ones, there was 1 male and 1 female for Tian Guangming and Feng Zhuo. Good, collect them soon. If we can't collect anything, then just kill them. Mr. Mule said coldly. Don't worry, they took items from our Bank of the Universe and don't want to give them back now. Is there something that is so good? Tian Guangming smiled coldly. I'll be leaving. If you need help just ask. Feng Zhuo turned around and left. She seemed really alluring and just left with the contract in her hands. I will go now, I will definitely be faster than Feng Zhuo. Tian Guangming took the contract and left quickly too. Li Weia and Mr. Mule looked at one another and felt helpless. The gold family's mountain range was huge and 2 tribes lived there. One was those of the Phoenix bloodline and one was the Gold Dragon's Dragon Valley. The Golden Dragon was strong and it was a huge branch of the dragon race. But the Golden Dragon race only merged with the Phoenix in Cold Moon Sky. There were roughly 30 of them. Although their cultivations were high, there were too few. The Golden Dragons needed the Phoenix bloodline family to protect them. Otherwise, those strong people would have hunted them down. Mr. Mule didn't head to the Golden Dragon's Dragon Valley right away. Instead, he went to find his fiancée Feng Longke. In a garden, Feng Longke and her sisters were talking. When they talked about her marriage, her face became red and her heart started beating quickly. She was really shy. Mr. Mule found his way over. Why are you here? Feng Longke's face turned red and she stood up. She was shocked. Her sisters looked at Mr. Mule and giggled. I have a matter. It is regarding Master. Mr. Mule said. Feng Longke said solemnly, what matter? Lend me the celestial artifact. I will head to the Dragon Valley to settle a contract. Mr. Mule said solemnly. You are going to deal with the Golden Dragons. Feng Longke was shocked. It is not that I want to, but they broke the contract, so I have no choice. Mr. Mule explained. Although Feng Longke didn't know what the exact situation was, she still passed the Coral Ocean map to Mr. Mule. I refined it. Do I need to remove the binding? Feng Longke asked. After confirming her relationship with Mr. Mule, Feng Longke refined the Coral Ocean map. No need, just continue chatting here, I will be back soon. Mr. Mule took the celestial artifact and said goodbye to Feng Longke's sisters. The sisters surrounded Feng Longke and chattered. Sister Longke, what treasure was it that you took out? Right, that treasure has such a strong aura. The coral patterns are so beautiful too. Right, does this treasure belong to sister or brother-in-law? Feng Longke grinned and said casually, that one is a celestial artifact. Your brother-in-law gave it to me, and now he needs it to do something. The sisters were stunned. A celestial artifact. Feng Longke looked at how shocked they were and for the first time felt like marrying Mr. Mule was a good thing. 30 golden dragons were coiled up in Dragon Valley. Dragon Valley was a giant hole. There were around 30 tunnels and each one had a giant golden valley coiled up within. Some were old, some were young, some were decades old, or a few hundred years. Mr. Mule noticed a golden dragon that was standing straight in itself. It looked down on Mr. Mule with its dragon beard dancing in the wind. He asked solemnly, "Who are you? What are you doing in my dragon valley?" Mr. Mule raised the contract and said, "I am here to find Jinwudi." The dragon asked with a weird expression, "Why are you looking for my grandfather? Go inform him and he will know who we are." Mr. Mule smiled confidently. He blinked his peach eyes and said, Chapter 350, Jinwudi. This golden dragon had a long body and it looked at Mr. Mule curiously, asking, "You are someone who knows my grandfather?" "No, but if your grandfather knows that I am here, he will definitely come to receive me," Mr. Mule said confidently. The golden dragon thought about it and said, "My granddaughter has been in deep sleep for 5,000 years. If it is not something huge, I don't want to wake him up." Mr. Mule was stunned. Deep sleep for 5,000 years, he really could sleep. Has he forgotten about the contract because he was sleeping? Mr. Mule guessed. "Take this contract. Once he sees it, he will come and find me." This was something he signed in the past. Mr. Mule said. The golden dragon looked at it but didn't pick it up. He still wasn't willing to do so. "I am the son-in-law of this generation's gold family chief, so we are family. This is important for your grandfather. If you delay this, your grandfather will suffer," Mr. Mule said angrily. If he offended his master and master got mad, Dragon Valley would suffer as a result. Golden Dragon was terrified of Mr. Mule. The key was that Mr. Mule said that he was the gold family's son-in-law. Only then did he nod, "I will inform my grandfather. Wait here." Mr. Mule waved his hands, "Go, don't waste time." Hong! The golden dragon flew into the air and entered the Dragon Valley before disappearing into the darkness. Mr. Mule muttered, "Why does this race look like a random slacking bunch? They are really amazing, able to sleep for 5,000 years at once. Over 5,000 years, so many beautiful things have occurred. To normal people, 5,000 years was the equivalent of 50 lifetimes." Jinwudi slept and it was gone. Of course, the dragon race had a long lifespan and were descendants of the god race. Their lifespan weren't comparable to the god turtle but they were able to live for tens of thousands of years. They exceeded the lifespan of humans of the same race. But even so, 5,000 years were a lot. Mr. Mule waited quietly. Kong! A few minutes later there was a loud roar which resounded throughout the entire Dragon Valley. This voice was like thunder. It was thick and sounded immense. Explosion! Then, he saw a 1,000-foot-long golden dragon flying out. Compared to that one previously, this was much bigger. Its aura was really terrifying and with one gaze, Mr. Mule felt like his body had frozen up. That old dragon is actually so strong. Mr. Mule was terrified. He couldn't beat him at all. "You are here for the debt." The old dragon grew over. He clawed at the ground with his talons. His enormous body swept up a storm, blowing up the dust all around as he looked down from above. Mr. Mule represented Xiandao and he couldn't lose his master's respect. "Not bad, you are Jinwudi." Mr. Mule nodded his head and asked. "I am." The old golden dragon asked. "Then, you should know why I am here." Mr. Mule raised the contract which the golden dragon hadn't brought in. "I know, I think I broke it." Jinwudi stared at the contract in Mr. Mule's hands with his lantern-like eyes. "You don't need to think, you did break it. You broke it for over 3,000 years ago." Mr. Mule pointed at it. "I entered deep sleep and forgot about it." Jinwudi shook his head and said regretfully. "Since you know that, then you have to pay the price." Mr. Mule said firmly. "What is the price?" Jinwudi asked solemnly. It just woke up and was still groggy. Mr. Mule was speechless. He didn't even remember the compensation. You borrowed the great ancient fallen star from the Bank of the Universe, so you have to repay it. Also, the price is that you have to be the Bank of the Universe's mount. Mr. Mule read the contents of the contract. Moreover, there is your lifespan. Mr. Mule added. Mount. Jinwudi stared. A terrifying aura pressed down which Mr. Mule couldn't block at all. He stumbled and looked really funny. You signed it yourself. If you dare to attack me, you won't be able to live either. Everyone in this Dragon Valley will be wiped out. Mr. Mule raged. He was unhappy that Jinwudi was suppressing him with his aura. Sorry. Jinwudi apologized and took a step back. Mr. Mule saw that it was sincere and said, I am okay, but you have to take out the great ancient fallen star. Also, you have to pay the compensation. Otherwise, you will definitely die. My master is really strong, and if you anger him, he will definitely kill you. Jinwudi said solemnly, naturally, I know that the master of the Bank of the Universe is amazing. I can be a mount and be a slave for the rest of my life. After all, I did break the contract. Since that is the case, then this problem is solved. Mr. Mule was satisfied. He was prepared to use the celestial artifact, but now, it seemed like it didn't need to be used. Great ancient fallen star isn't with me. Jinwudi's words made Mr. Mule frown. What do you mean? Mr. Mule asked in confusion. Did you lose it or did someone snatch it? Mr. Mule asked solemnly. Without it, if Xiandao got mad, Jinwudi would have to die in the end. Mr. Mule didn't believe that Jinwudi could compare to Xiandao. Right, Jinwudi was terrifying and Mr. Mule suspected he was at Emperor Realm. But so what? Xiandao was on Heaven Mountain and he killed an emperor with some snow. That person didn't even see Xiandao's face and died. So what if Jinwudi was an emperor? In front of his master, he still couldn't take a blow. Great ancient fallen star isn't with me. It is on Dragon Island. Jinwudi said regretfully. Where is Dragon Island? Mr. Mule asked. In Great Sky. Jinwudi sighed. Can you get it back? Mr. Mule asked. If you can, then I can delay for a week. You will get Great Ancient Fallen Star back and return it to Master before you become a mount. I will treat it like nothing has happened. Mr. Mule thought of an idea. Jinwudi lowered his head and said softly, My golden dragon race left Dragon Island and drew a line with them. We are like water and fire and they won't return Great Ancient Fallen Star back to me. Mr. Mule blinked. What was he going to do now? My master will beat you to death. Mr. Mule said in a serious tone. Jinwudi panicked. His dragon beard was dancing as he thought carefully, Can you introduce me to your master? I am willing to pay any price in exchange for his forgiveness. Mr. Mule was confused, What can you pay to make up for the loss of Great Ancient Fallen Star? My golden dragon races elegance as well as many treasures. Jinwudi said solemnly.